A sweet stench that seemed to eat into her brain poured from the narrow opening she had created, and though she was prepared for it, she couldn't help but grimace. Alright, guys, welcome back to some more Umineko When They Cry. Fun fact: the Queen of Norway once waved at me. That's what I was trying to say. Yes, I don't know why I took a break. I was trying to think of saying waved at me, but yeah, yeah, that's a cool fun fact. She a couple years ago, she came to the city I used to live in. I've lived in that city for 10 years, but I had to move because you know I got university now, so I had to move. But when she visited that city, our city at the time opened a tourist spot. I'm from Norway, but I don't know if I've ever said this before, but or if you know, but there you go, fun fact. But yeah, the came, Queen of Norway came to the city to like celebrate the opening of the tourist like spot or attraction, and it's a pretty small city, but a decent amount of people came. You'd think it was like thousands, nah, like there were like 150 of us there or something, 200 people. There were not a lot, although she did come. No, she came on a Saturday. Yeah, nah. I was gonna say like she came on a weekday and people were working. Nah, I think she came on like a Saturday or a Sunday or something. People have had no excuse basically, and there were not a lot of us. I mean, the city I used to live in was pretty small, right? Only a couple thousand people live there. And now I've moved to a much bigger city. I'm not used to living in a city this big actually, but she came over and we gave her one of like the tourist spots. We gave a name specifically for her, the queen. By the way, if you don't know who the Queen of Norway is, I'd imagine a lot of you guys don't, especially if you're not from Norway. But her name is Queen Sonja. You can look it up, Queen of Norway. So yeah, and she came, and there were a bunch of us there. She gave a whole speech about the city and stuff. It was great. But then, then as she was like walking back, like to her like limousine, like it wasn't a limousine, but it was a really like long, cool like a royalty car, like she had bodyguards, like she had protection, of course. And as she was walking out, she waved at us, and I made eye contact with her, and I waved at her, and she waved back, and like I went with my dad that day, and my dad was like all the way to the side, so he didn't catch a wave, and I waved at her, and I was like, "Yo, dad, that was sick." She waved at me, and he was like, "No way, bro," and I was like, "Hell yeah!" I was like, "Yo, the queen waved at me," and yeah, I still remember that, of course. Very sick. Then she went back and drove away, probably away from the city. She probably never came back to the city. But yeah, um, really cool. Um, and the royalty in Norway, they don't really have. I mean, they don't really do much other than just being famous people. To be honest, like they don't have any huge political power. Although technically they do, but like they don't use it. They just let the prime minister and the government do the stuff. They're just there as public figures, and they have a lot of ethos still, so they're just there. But yeah, they have children. They even have grandchildren now. Yeah, like I think Prince Haakon, who's the son, by the way, of the king Harald. He wasn't there. Only the queen was there. But if the king had arrived, if the king had waved at me, that would be insane. But I'm still happy. The queen waved at me. But the king, he has a son Haakon, and I'm pretty sure Haakon himself is obviously he's also married, but he has his eldest daughter. He has a daughter, and I think also has a son. I think he has a daughter and a son. I'm not really sure. I'm not really too caught up on the royal family, but I remember looking it up once, and he has a daughter that's actually not not that much younger than me. Actually, like I expected his children to be like, I don't know, born in like, I expected them to be toddlers, right? Born in like 2010 and after. But nah, like I can look it up now. Actually, wait one sec. I'm pretty sure she was like born in like the early 2000s, so like she's not that much younger than me. Um, I don't know how old you guys are watching this. I'm going very off topic from Umineko here. I just want to share this little fun fact, but this is really delved into something completely different. Oh my god! Oh, she had her birthday a month ago. She's 18 now. She's 18 now. Got internet, chill. Internet, y'all better chill. Alright, she was born in 2004. Yep, people in 2004 are now 18 years old this year, huh? That's kind of nuts. That is kind of nuts to think about. I mean, imagine some of you guys watching may also be older than I am, and you're probably wilding about. I mean, I will be wilding about if I was older than I currently am, knowing that people born in 2004 are currently becoming 18 years old. That is insane. It's insane to think about people born in the early 2000s as 18-year-olds, isn't it? Uh, anyway, I'm not that much older than her, anyways. It's not like I'm over here being like all all pissy or like all weird about it. You know, if it was like 2014 and became 18 years old, then yeah, I would be wilding out because at that point, like I was okay, I was a decent age myself, but I was also, to be fair, a kid when she was born. I imagine if you were a teenager when she was born, you'd be rivet. Like, imagine being born in like 1990 or something. I mean, much older than me, and like just like being 14 when people who are currently becoming 18 were born. Like, you're probably just there, like, oh my god, I'm 1990. Yeah, you're 31 years old or 32. You're like, ah. Oh. Okay, I am very I'm going very off topic. So, Umineko, welcome back. Last time, um, what was the bloody door last time? I don't think it was. No, I think we started I think we started with Hideyoshi and Eva. We had a little talk with them, and Natsu was there too. And we were talking about several family members disappearing or like not being there anymore. Rudolph, Kirie, all gone. Golda's gone. Um, even Cross is gone. Nazi obviously was saved. She was about to be gone too, but she was saved by the necklace thing or like the thing uh, that Jessica gave her, that Jessica got from Maria. Um, Another recap I need to do. Oh yeah, we were also with the cousins for a bit. Maria was jumping up on all their beds, waking them up, and they woke up real good. And I think they're coming to the guest house. I think they're coming to the mansion. I mean, I think they're coming over. And then I think from there we cut to Natsuhi, who yeah. From there we cut to Natsuhi, who's going to Kinzo. I think we're going to Kinzo's room right now because Natsuhi was dared by Eva to bring Kinzo down to the to have some breakfast with the family. And Eva was like, you can't really say that you have Kinzo's trust if you can't even bring him to eat breakfast with us, now can you? So Eva like kind of dared her about, and Natsu was angry, and our boy Genji, that's our boy Genji, noticed that, so he gave her the keys, who only he should have. He gave us the keys, and he's like, good luck, you can do it. And then Natsu came over here to his study, and she unlocked the door because it seems like Kinzo's sleeping, and when he's in deep sleep, he can't hear what people outside the study are saying. So she unlocked the door, and as she's unlocked the door, it literally says right here what's going on. A sweet stench that seemed to ear into her brain poured from the narrow opening she had created by unlocking the door. And though she was prepared for it, she couldn't help but grimace. So that's where we're at right now. Thank you guys so much for the support on Umineko. I just went back on a couple of my videos. Some of them have like 80 views, which is more than double than what I usually get, which is insane. I'm on 70 subscribers now. Somehow, that is some exponential growth. It's crazy. Just a few months ago, I had 50, and I've had 50 for years. It's insane. It's insane. So thank you so much. I've gotten so many comments recently too, and not even in just Mineko videos. I've gotten comments in other videos too, so it's amazing. Uh, Before starting Umineko, actually, this is irrelevant to this whole like this new. Currently, my channel is popping off more than ever for some reason, and just because I've been playing Umineko, I'm just surprised by this. I did not expect Umineko to be the series that would receive this much support. But before I started Umineko, I actually got a comment on one of my like old, well, not that old, but a couple years old Kingdom Hearts video where I was reacting to like a plot twist. Don't worry, I'm not gonna spoil anything if you've never played Kingdom Hearts. But I got a funny comment from a guy going like, or a girl, I don't care. Well, it was someone who had like, a, you know that famous picture. I can't explain it. It was a guy with glasses. Okay, it's a famous picture of a guy with glasses. His name is Meme Lord, and they commented like, they commented, it was reaction video from me, and they commented, cringe fake reaction, something along those lines, and I just laughed when I saw the comment. I was like, that's really funny. Um, that's really funny because like that was like one of an experience where someone calls something it did fake when I know it's not, but like I know obviously I can't prove it to him, or he can call it fake, of course, it's fine. I mean, cringe, I mean, it's fine. I mean, that's opinionated, whatever. I'm fine with being cringe. I don't really care about that. But he called it fake. That's what I laughed at. I'm like, how is that fake? I mean, I don't fake my reactions at all. Even playing Umineko. I mean, in fact, I try really hard to like be like real, to be me, right? Whenever I record all of these, because I personally value real reactions. And once before, in one of my earlier Umineko parts, I think it was the part where like Maria was in the rain, still in the rain getting flowers. I think that part was like the video got corrupted. Since then, my video hasn't been corrupted. Hopefully, this one doesn't get corrupted. Oh, please, please. Especially now, because I think we're getting to we're finally getting to like some family members disappearing, so we're getting to some good parts now. Don't want to have to have any like moments being don't want to have this video be corrupted and then have like my reaction like be gone forever. But yeah, one of my recordings got corrupted, and I just I recorded it again, like the whole thing again, even though I really experienced it. But then throughout the part, I can't remind you guys, like, yeah, I've already seen this, so this is not my first reaction. Like, I value first reactions. Which is why I'm so glad the part where it was revealed that Cross had one of the gold ingots. I'm so glad that recording didn't get corrupted, because it was like, yes, that was my first reaction. It was like, yeah, it was sick. So I really value real reactions. I never fake these, and you know, it's also why I've never looked up anything related to Mineko. I never looked, even Higurashi. I've just stayed away. I don't want to Google anything Mineko. I don't want to look any videos or on YouTube or anywhere else or any social media. Nothing. No Mineko. I've just had that off my feed because I just want to go into this completely unspoiled. Only Umineko sort of back and forth I've had is with you guys commenting on my YouTube videos. That is it. That is it. That's it. That's all Mineko talk I've had. I haven't talked with Mineko about anybody. I haven't looked it up. I don't know anything. I'm still going into this completely blind. Completely blind. And if a recording gets corrupted, which happens every so often, doesn't happen a lot, thankfully. Uh, Hopefully it doesn't happen here either, or else I'll have to do all this again. But um, yeah, I like to keep it real, and if it's not real, I'll tell you guys. Oh yeah, they're going to go corrupted. I've already seen what happens. I'm sorry. I can't do much about that. Of course, I don't want the recording to be corrupted, but or to be yeah, I won't call it corrupted. It's just the file doesn't export properly. It's I don't know what else to call it. It's not actually corrupted. I'm pretty sure you're using the wrong term for that. It's just bad exporting and it doesn't work. It doesn't become a video. But yeah. So these reactions I have are real. Everything as I'm reading this, it's all real. So I'm gonna just point that out. Whether you believe me or not, of course, is up to you. Clearly, that commenter didn't believe me. I just laughed it off, of course, because I know it's real. So I don't need to. I don't need to. Hey, if you, it's up to people watching, commenting, whatever, to believe whether this is real or not. I mean, I'm just doing my thing. So yeah, I hope people enjoy this anyway. This has gotten a lot of support when I totally did not expect it to. This entire series, cool. I'll take it. So let's keep reading. I've been talking a lot about some stuff that is completely relevant to Minako. I know that, and I'm sorry. And hopefully this is like the last time I do that. Well, It's probably not going to be that similar to it, but like hopefully this is um, not as long as this at least, because I don't know why I'm saying all this, but if a lot of support keeps coming, I'm just gonna do a thanks for whenever I make a new video. If I see a lot of support from previous videos, of course I'm gonna thank you all in the beginning of the video and then keep it moving. Hopefully, I don't take as long from now on. I'll try my best not to take as long. I know this is annoying. I know you guys just want to get to the Umineko stuff, so I'm sorry. But you know, also the whole fun fact with the Queen, which is completely unrelated and unnecessary for this video, but just want to say that, just to say something completely irrelevant. But that's the thing, though, is well, yeah, that is all irrelevant and has nothing to do with Mirako. Do you also just want to say that this channel is Amin Luffy? At the end of the day, this is me playing or reading a visual novel or playing games. It's not there's play. I'm sure there's playthroughs out there on YouTube where people don't talk as much, or it's a silent commentary, right? I'm sure videos like those exist, right? Besides, they probably don't have as many FPS issues, so they're probably a better experience in that wise. But this is more like the my experience, the Amin experience. So, of course, this is me recording this. It's not it's my like it's my my specific playthrough on this, but it's about me playing this. It's not as much about someone playing this, right? If that makes sense. That doesn't make sense. But the channel is called Emin Luffy, so like um I'm doing this assuming like how do I put it? It's obviously it's not that the game doesn't matter. No, or the visual novel doesn't matter. No. Of course not. But we're going to get through the visual novel, of course. But um, the channel is I'm Luffy, so it's going to have focus on me, of course. It's going to be me talking through and maybe theorizing or thinking about stuff or reacting to stuff, whatever it is. So just wanted to point that out that is the main point focus at the end of the day. So yeah, because that's what I enjoy doing the most. Of course, if any criticisms, of course, are completely fine. By the way, completely fine. The person who said cringe fake reaction, you know, those comments, welcome, actually welcome, no problem. Uh, and if it's cringy, that's fine. Criticism is fine. If you think it's cringe, fine. Just saying, it's just not fake. That's the part I go for. It's not fake. Cringe is fine. I know I am. That's completely fine. But the fake part is like what? Where did that come from? But yeah. Anyway, let's get into Umineko. Been talking for a bit. So yeah, she's opening the door and it smells like trash. she's grimacing. All right. Thinking that he might still be sleeping, Natsu entered the room quietly. Damn it, it's raining. He's awake! Not she, he's awake. When she did, Kinzo, already awake, was looking down out of the window. This music is spooky. It's like... He is awake. Ohayo.
どうやって入ったのか
Kinzo, it's time to tell you. I've learned how to lockpick. You ain't keeping me out of your study no more. I'm visiting when I want, boy. Kinzo spoke with his back still facing her. His voice was not harsh but calm, and Natsu was slightly reassured. However, he was at least in a bad enough mood that he ignored the sound of all of that knocking even though he had been awake. Sure. Natsu wasn't able to break the tension. Of course she wasn't. She's never been really great at that, has she? Well, I shouldn't say that. She's never really been put in a situation necessarily like this before. Yeah, not in the same context at least. Anyway.
申し訳ございませんでした。源氏さんにお願いして書斎の鍵をお借りさせていただきました。
Well, you didn't really ask him. He just saw you uncomfortable and he was like, here you go, I got the plug. I got the cocaine. Here you go. You take this key. You can get in. You have passage. You didn't really ask him. But
ほう
But to be fair, if she says that she asked him, to be fair, that does put the blame away from Genji. So from that POV, actually smart saying. That's actually smart from you. Because then if Kinzo gets mad, he doesn't get mad at the servant who's been diligently working for decades. Kinzo gets mad at you instead. So, you know what? Taking the blame for an eventual Kinzo getting angry, smart move, Nazi. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
元気がか
Again, she specifically asked him. There we go. Let's go with that story. I like that more.
我が友がそれに足ると思ったならば話を聞かぬわけにもいくまい
Bro, he's gonna be like, I have no choice but to listen. And then she's gonna go like, she's gonna go like, so you wanna eat breakfast with us? And he goes like, God damn it! What's the point? Ah, go away! Leave my room, woman! Leave my room! Leave my study! I thought it was gonna be something important because Genji let you in and everything. Nah! This breakfast is dump crack with my family. Get out!
して私に何用か
はい。
Imagine she says something completely like off the walls crazy, like I know where the gold is, or like I found a piece of the gold. Imagine she says that. Oh, that would be unexpected, you know. Alright.
もうじき朝食の準備が整いますが、ぜひお父様にもおいでいただきたく思いまして。
Oh, okay. Well, she said what she was supposed to say. I mean, I was hoping it would be something like a little different, like, haha, twist. You thought she was gonna talk about breakfast, but no, okay, she is. He's not gonna have a happy reaction to this, is he?
朝食はここでとる
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, not sweet to be fair. Did you expect any other reaction? Come on now.
いつものように運ばせるがいい
しかしお父様、年に一度の親族会議です。せめてお顔をお見せになってください。
Don't you wanna see Battler? You haven't seen him in 6 years. 6 years. Come on now.
下に降りて私の死後遺産をどのように食いちぎるのかを決める議論に加われというのか
Well, only Hideyoshi and Eva are there, so you won't really be discussing much. Because I mean, you'll be discussing with them, really. I mean, Natsuhi's here too, but like, how involved is she going to be in that sort of discussion without Cross out here? I feel like Cross was the one really rolling in on those discussions. But Cross has now disappeared, so the frick, man.
バカらしい
How foolish.
そのような話は私を抜きで好きに進めるがいい
I ain't got time for that. I'm still so impressed with Kinzo's voice actors. Oh yeah, someone commented that too, that the voice actors in this visual novel are great. I 100% agree. The voice actors in this are amazing. Rosa, Kinzo has impressed me the most. Rosa's been great. Even the kid who does Maria is great. Battler is good too. Like, there's not a single voice actor that I'm like, could be better, right? There's not a single. All of them are good. All of them, like they've chosen some solid voices, and apparently, according to their comment, they've chosen some really like well-known, high-quality voice actors in the scene, all for this visual novel. It's like very concentrated, and I'm not surprised, but I didn't think Umineko was like that. I don't know. Was that big in the sense of having like these high-quality voice actors? I didn't know that. But that's great. It's fantastic. I love it. Of course. Why wouldn't I love great voice acting?
そしてそれが親族会議だというなら、私がこの部屋を出るほどの価値はない。
You know what? I agree. That's something I agree with. Yeah. Bro, every year to meet with my family and all they're gonna do is argue about business. Like, I agree. I'm not down for that. Like, get me out of here. Like, I'll meet with my family if we're gonna talk about, you know, other thing, you know, family stuff. I don't know, like, you know, what's everyone been doing for last year? You know, like, what's up? Anyone with kids? How is school, college going? Older guys, like, have you done anything cool or fun? Like, stuff like that, you know? How's the island been? You guys are literally on a whole island, and you spend time talking about business? Like, you have a whole mansion, a guest house. You're rich. Do stuff. You talk about business. Well, I mean, to be fair, you are rich, so yeah, I guess you're gonna get richer. So I guess business will be a big discussion. But you know, I'm here for that. I see that mindset, Kinzo.
私は忙しいのだ。
Busy.
構うでない。
Don't bother me. With his last words came the threat that any further questions would be useless. Natsu realized that adding any further pleas would finally bring his wrath down upon her. It would be annoying to hear Eva sarcastically say that she hadn't been able to convince him after all, but there was nothing more Natsu could do. Unless she brings up the gold. If Natsu if she really wanted to get one on Eva, she'd be like, there's gold in the parlor. Or, you know, where I think they're in the parlor, right? Yeah. There's a golding in the parlor, and then bang! Convinced him! Woo!
そうですか。わかりました。みんな残念がるでしょうが、そう伝えます。
Alright. Natsu decided to give up. Bowing silently, she made to leave the room before Kinzo's spasmodic temper could fire up. As she did, Kinzo called out to her. Wait! I have one more thing to tell you. Compared to the usual Kinzo, this voice was calm and gentle, like it came from another person. Similar to Maria. You know how when Maria was reading the letter, she sounded like another person? I find that interesting.
夏日、後ろ宮の家に嫁ぎ、もう随分になるな。
Well, she was struggling to have a child for a while, and Jessica is 18 years old now, I think. So yeah, it's been a solid two dozen decades. What am I saying? 2 dozen decades. I think I was trying to say 2 decades, but also like 2 dozen at the same time. It would be more accurate to say 2 dozen, actually, but man, my brain farted there. You get the point. She's been here for over 20 years. Since for the first couple of years with marrying into Cross Sheesh, they were struggling to have a child, and Eva beat them to it, and that's why like it's extra disappointing. We had this whole Nazi like small backstory. We know this, right?
はい。後ろ宮を名乗ることを許されてからもう随分になります。
And yeah, you have, but you don't have the crest on you. Like you better than Ushiromiya, but you don't have like the one-winged eagle on you, do you? I mean, yeah.
前の家が恋しくなることもあるか。
Well, she didn't have the great relations with them, did she? If I remember correctly, from her backstory, like the little like backstory talk they had.
いいえ。
Yeah, like I think she didn't like something like she didn't like her father or something or previous family because like I don't remember exactly. Like they let her. I don't remember.
嫁ぐとは成果を捨てることです。私は後宮夏日。帰る家も懐かしむ家もすべてはこの後宮の家のみです。
Okay. It was definitely not an exaggeration. I bet. Such was the level of Natsu's resolve in calling herself an Ushiromiya. And yeah, it was a bit like, I wouldn't say it was shattered, but it was a bit like hit when Cross just showed her the ingot and like didn't tell her about it. Like you could, like that hit her like emotionally and deeply, but her resolve is still strong, especially now that Cross has disappeared. She gotta have a strong resolve, despite I mean, she probably doesn't think much of Cross' disappearance yet. She's not panicked about it, but like soon when she realizes like Cross is not on the island, like he's not in the beach like she thought it was. Like, oh man, he's actually gone. He's disappeared. Like that's the moment she's gonna have the strongest resolve. And I hope Natsu can do it. I mean, she's been struggling with her emotions in this visual novel so far, but she's got emo clothes, emo, emo hair. I believe she can do it. If she can only hold out against Eva, who may or may not have, I don't know, done stuff to make these people disappear. Just saying, Rudolph did say he was probably gonna die tonight, or last night, so. That was why she was so sorrowful that, despite all of her effort, it had been fruitless and she was not even accepted by her husband. Yeah, that was like what we were talking about just a second ago, about the gold. What? What is going on, Kinzo? What? That came out of nowhere. If Cross was a woman, like what? Where did that go? And then he just goes like, nah, you know what? Nah, stop. We'll stop that discussion there. What? And he had been the husband. I mean, yeah, I mean, I wonder what would have happened there, Kinzo. Great question. What does he mean by that? Natsu was shocked. I mean, I wasn't really shocked. I just kind of laughed. Oh my god. I mean, I guess I was shocked. I didn't expect him to say that. If Kinzo's words just now had been meant literally, they would have been more than enough to make up for all she had suffered up to that point. Damn, that's... Ow. Then Kinzo should have just meant it literally then. Fixed everything. Nonsense, you say? Kinzo once again faced away from her. He had told her to forget it, but Natsu couldn't help feeling a warmth in her heart. Oh, Kinzo cares. She cares about, like, my undying loyalty for these last 2 decades. Or should I say 2 decades dozens? Should I just... I'm just gonna make that a meme now. I'm just gonna... You know, I'll leave it. I'll leave it. It wasn't that good. Good.
お父様、この夏日は血はつながらずともお父様の娘です。後宮家の名誉も栄光も、そしてお父様が残されたものもすべてこの夏日が必ずや守ってみせますから。
Nice.
お前に片翼のわしをまとう資格はない。
Damn, man, chill, bro. She just supported you and just go like, you don't have the facilities for that, young woman. Like, damn, man, like, what was man, like all of that loyalty for 2 decades, and she still doesn't get to wear the one-winged eagle. But the little girl who's struggling to speak, yeah, now she gets it. Of course, she's related by blood. To be fair, she is the messenger of Beatrice. She is the messenger. I'll give Maria that. I mean, she is pretty important.
しかし、お前の心には確かに片翼のわしが刻まれている。
Oh, look at him. Oh, see that? That's a good sentence for you there, Natsu. There you go.
ならばお前は間違いなく我が血族で 後宮家の栄光を引き継ぐものだ。
That's nice. I'm glad Kinzo thinks of her like that. I'm glad. You know, this guy isn't just ruthless towards his children. You know, he has that respect for Natsu. He sees her efforts. He's been noticing them.
お前の衣服にわしがないことを嘲笑う者もいよう。
I mean, you're the guy that isn't giving her that. You're just like, you don't have the qualifications. you're you're the one that's letting her be sneered at. But you know, I guess you have high standards. Like, you know, gotta be blood relative. That's how it is.
しかし、それに耳を貸すことはない。
See that? Kinzo just told you to ignore Eva's insults at your ego. At having no ego. That's good.
心にわしを持つ者だけが真の私の血族なのだ。
Wow!
お前を後ろ宮家に迎えられたことを今は光栄に思っている。
Look at that! Look at that! I did not expect Kinzo to say all this to her. That's great. Without saying anything more, Kinzo remained with his back to Natsui. However, Natsui couldn't help but feel something warm well up inside her that she hadn't felt since long ago when she had been just a child. Natsui bowed silently to his back and left the room. Nice.
あら、ちょうどいいタイミングだったわね。
Here we go. Oh, did you manage to convince Kinzo to have breakfast with us?
お父様の様子はどう？あんまり遅いから様子を見に来ちゃったのよ。
Yeah, okay. When Natsui left the study, she saw Eva climbing the stairs and their eyes met. Eva was smirking unpleasantly, thinking that Natsui had just left the room grudgingly after failing to convince Kinzo. What she doesn't know is Kinzo just pumped her with... Okay, I mean, I shouldn't have said it like that, but just like... Oh, damn it. I can't say that either. Okay, wait. Just gave her optimism, you know? And that's great. Gave her words of courage, of like support for her loyalty and you know, work and efforts for the family. Eva was not a part of that. She's here like, I won this, but Natsui's walking out a winner here, so let's go. However, the way Natsui was now, such a frivolous laugh would not disturb her. Yes, Natsui, that's how you should be. Ignore Eva's like little like remarks. Do your thing. You you got an eagle in your heart. Okay? Yeah. Let's go. She was not permitted to wear the family crest on her clothing, but she was permitted to wear it in her heart. Let's go. And that's the most important part right there. That is what truly matters. Nice. So she spoke calmly, clearly, and confidently with the dignity of the one who would protect the glory of the Shiromiya family. Nice.
お父様は親族会議にはおいでにならないそう
Oh,
です。
look. Yeah, I love how you can tell by the voice actress. Like, you can tell that she sounds more confident talking to Eva now. That is sick. That is sick. That is sick. It's like the voice actress like lives in the character. I love that. Like, saying that, she sounded more confident. Like, father said he would not join in the family conference. Yes, I'm saying that with confidence. Full on pride, like no problem. Yeah! Tell her, Natsui, let's go.
汚らわしい議題に関心はないと仰せです。
Oh my god, she sounds so confident. Let's go. This is like the most confident she's ever sounded. She has no interest in such an obscene topic.
とかなんとか言っちゃって。
And Eva, you're losing this fight. You're losing this fight. Nazi got to hear words that are gonna send her beyond. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. Your little remarks ain't gonna work no more. Come on.
お父様を説得できなかったんなら素直にそう言えばいいじゃない。
Persuade father.
哀れですね。
Oh, yeah.
お父様が嘆かれるお気持ちも分かろうというものです。
Oh, she's like, is she, is, does Eva have the eagle in her heart? Now she's like, pitiful. You're not real, not like me. I've actually been doing a lot of effort these last 20 years while you've been arguing about business and all this stuff. To be fair, Natsu's been arguing about business too for a bit, but you know, and she's also treated Shannon in a way I wouldn't like her to. But you know, other than the whole servant treatment and that, you know, other than that, you know, I'm fine with Natsu for the most part.
それはどういう意味よ。
Yeah, let's go. Natsu wins this one. Finally, Natsu gets one over Eva. Let's go. Just look at her face. Yeah, she must be like, what the frick? This is new, the new power from Natsu. What is this? Natsu did not answer. Nice. Just as Kinzo had done earlier, she showed Eva her back as she headed down the stairs. Oh, take the W. Natsu, take the W. You won that. You won that. You won that. Yeah, you won that whole confrontation. Let's go. W. Yes. Yes. I hope you locked the door, by the way. The message didn't say anything about her locking the door to the study, but I'm just... Oh wait, no, it locks automatically. I'm dumb. No, you know what? I'll take the L there. Natsu takes the W. I'll take the L for forgetting that the door locks automatically. I just hope you actually close the door at least, so that it locked automatically. Yeah. Struggling to gather what had happened, Eva could only determine that she had been made fun of, and that something had happened to quickly bolster Natsu's confidence. Yeah, she got you good there, Eva. Even so, she didn't have the courage to risk Kinzo's wrath. Unable to even knock on the door, she could only scratch at the air in front of it, cluck her tongue, and then follow after Natsu. Yes! Eva got much needed, I don't know. You know, vengeance. Vengeance? Payment. Repayment? Repayment. Sure, let's go with that. Whatever.
それで兄さんたちはいたの？
You think they were?
お父様に聞いたの？
I feel like I don't think everyone knows what happened to you. Like, I feel like the visual novel is trying to tell us, like, with the whole Rudolph stuff, saying he's gonna die last night, and with Cross, I don't feel like Eva, like, the visual novel is trying to make us think it's Eva that may have done it, and it's trying to make us believe that, like, or like it's trying to make Nazi, or you know, Nazi probably thinks it's Eva that has something to do with this, but I don't think Eva actually knows about the different disappearance. I think she might actually be unaware of where her brothers are, her siblings are. I think so. I don't know. Like, Eva might have, like, she might be, you know, a bit quirky, I'll say. But would she really go for murder or disappearance or kidnap or something like that? I don't know if that's something Eva would do, you know? I'm not sure. I think she might be just as confused as the rest about where they're at. No, honestly, generally, I think Hideyoshi, her husband, has a higher chance of like making someone disappear for whatever reason than Eva, to be honest. That's just how I see it.
聞きそびれましたが、書斎の中にはいませんでした。
You're not inside the study.
お父様が夫たちの下船な話のために入室を許すこともありえませんから、行き先を知ることもないでしょう。下に降りて使用人たちが探してくれるのを待ちましょう。
Alright, and they're gonna return with empty hands. Or should I say people? You get what I mean.
朝食は遅れますが、お茶でもいかがです、エヴァさん。
Look at that, she's smiling. Yay. She hasn't smiled enough this visual novel. Eva's been smiling like this a lot, but she hasn't smiled enough. We like to see her smile.
別に結構よ。
Now she's uncomfortable again. Eva couldn't hide her confusion over the complete difference in Natsu's demeanor. That's a great song from Pop Smoke and Dua Lipa, by the way. Completely off topic. I don't typically like most of the other Pop Smoke songs. I do like Dua Lipa. I think she's cool. But yeah, that song was kind of just like remixed together because Pop Smoke unfortunately passed away like 2 years ago or a year ago. But you know, I like that. My demeanor is meaner than yours. Anyway, I've gone really off topic here. Yeah, right. She was acting so boldly, and while Eva hated to admit it, she even had a sense of dignity about her. Yes! Keep smiling. Shine bright with your smiling confidence. That's how you gotta deal with people like trying to bully you. That's how you just smile through the nothingness. Like Kinzo said, it's like Kinzo said, you know, like these words should not reach your ears. They should just whoop. Don't let him get to you. Actually, today when I was in university, like I had a guy. This is okay. I'll make this topic quick. Okay, I promise. So I had a guy. He's a bit older than me. He's a few years ahead of me, and he's doing another course in university. But he told me that like in middle school, like he was getting made fun of for watching anime sometimes, by other people, and and he said that like yeah he didn't care. He just went like woo-hoo-hoo. And now he says that those people are now like some of the biggest sweeps he knows. So how the turntables. So yeah, I mean, you know, that's just how you gotta do. Like, you can't let it get to you. And if you do let it get to you, even if you do let it get to you, that's good because then like you get used to it. You know, like you learn to develop like a shield, like a protective shield of not letting words get to you. I feel like whenever I've been like insulted or like stuff like that in the past, I feel like when it did hurt me, in the long run, I appreciate it because like it's made me stronger. So like, I'm happy, you know, we have all these not non-bullying campaigns, and you know, bullying, of course, to an extent, is actually pretty harmful. But like to some degree, it actually I think helps someone like learn to like just because when you grow up too, people are going to make fun of you and say dumb stuff about you that you know that you shouldn't care about. And if you get used to it from you're a kid, it's not. I don't think it's necessarily a negative thing. Although again, that might be a hot take from me, but you know, to an extent, you know, emotional like or words getting used to like words not mattering that much, especially from people who don't matter. Um, you know, I think it's think it could help in the future. I think it could help because then like you like learn how to just shield yourself against that. So anyway, unable to find fault with anything, she could only follow Nazi back to the parlor. All right, back to the parlor. When the two of them returned to the parlor, not only Hideyoshi but the four children and Nanjo as well had gathered there. Oh yeah. Because I knew like they were all coming back. I knew that. Because I remember the children all going like, yeah, we're gonna go back to the parlor. Or we're gonna go to the mansion. But Nanjo as well is come out here, okay. Genji, who had been talking with Hideyoshi, reported the current situation when he noticed that Natsu had returned. Right.
主人たちはまだ見つからないのですか？
はい、申し訳ございません。あと、熊沢が朝食の準備に入りました。
Okay. That's another person who's confirmed not missing. Kumasawa is here. Cool. So every servant other than Shannon is confirmed. Oh, and Goda is confirmed. Every family member except for Rudolph, Kirie, Rosa, and Kraus is confirmed. So that's that's 6 people out of the 19, 18 people on the island. Interesting. So there's either 12 or 13 left. I don't know. I could count them all up, but I'm not gonna do that right now. We're roughly in that stage. All right.
もう少し時間をいただきたいとのことです。
Just a little longer. The clock read a little past 8 a.m. 8 o'clock was the time that breakfast was supposed to have started. The mere fact that the hosts had gone over that time limit was a disgrace under normal circumstances. Well, this is clearly not a normal circumstance. Yeah, big good chunk of the family is missing, and some servants are gone. I don't think this is a disgrace.
今カノンが表を探しています。
Searching outside.
それからシャノンの姿も見えません。
No one has seen Shannon. Shannon, last we saw of her, she was looking at like a butterfly, was it? Like a flickering butterfly, and that was a sign of Beatrice, according to rumors among the servants. Like how flickering butterflies means Beatrice is ruling the mansion because she's the ruler of the night and Kinzo's the ruler of the day. Something like that. Something ridiculous like that. So maybe she got caught by Beatrice. Beatrice was like, follow me. Took her with her. And then she disappeared. Who knows? Beatrice might not have liked her. We did get like a cool, like, when George proposed to her, we did get like a cool, like, what's Shannon panel. Or what's her real name? I forgot her real name, but like Shannon panel when she was like, ah, it was like all bright, colorful. Canon is searching alone. Probably should have had someone follow him. Although you aren't, the servants are not plentiful right now, so I see why. But it's just, if the rest have disappeared and you let Canon go searching alone, could be trouble. Okay, what happened? What if something happens to Canon?
シャノンまでまったく主人は何を従えて散歩に出かけたのですか
Wait, she is still convinced that a walk has been going on. Canon is gonna come back like no one's here. Or what would be even more spooky if Canon never comes back. So it's like 3 p.m. and they're like, Canon is still not back. He's been out for like 8 hours. What the frick? How many people couldn't be found? With the number of people having grown so large, it was starting to feel truly unpleasant, as though they were the only ones being left out on something interesting. I don't know. I don't think disappearing is anything interesting, I'll be honest. At the very least, it looked like the children, no, Maria especially felt the same way. Yeah, I mean, Maria, fair enough. She would feel that way. She was indignant, her stomach grumbling, almost as though her mother and the others had left her alone to go off and eat something delicious without her. Oh, your mother wouldn't do that to you, Maria. Trying to fix her bad mood, the other children were flipping through the channels on the television trying to find a program that might interest Maria. Nanja was sitting on the sofa, gazing blissfully at the children while reading a book. No doubt it was a book about chess, of course, okay. The sound of footsteps came rushing towards them with a pitter-patter. Let's go, is Cannon back? Would have been spooky if Cannon never came back, but something has to happen. Cannon came back. There was only one set, so they realized before they saw the source that it was not Cross and the rest, but probably Cannon. Right, the sound of footsteps.
奥様、失礼します。
So you didn't find anyone? Okay.
その様子では見つけられなかったようですね
No. They may have taken a walk in this rain outside the island. They may have swam away. Who knows? They just Rudolph and Cross just dragged Rudolph, Kitty, and Rosa to just swim away. Woohoo! Leave the island. Maybe they saw the dangers of Beatrice. Beatrice was like, if you don't want to get killed, if you don't want to be a sacrifice, swim away from the island. That is the best way to survive.
申し訳ございません。まだ。
もう十分ですご苦労をかけました
He has. He's not wet at all, though. I guess he was using an umbrella. She didn't know where they were, but they had to be somewhere on this island. You think? You think they would just swim away? Wow, that's impossible. In this weather, the typhoon coming up, there's no way someone's dumb enough to think about swimming away. Even if there wasn't a typhoon, there's no way someone's dumb enough to think about swimming away. They hadn't put anything in their mouths since last night, so their stomachs must be growling about now. They would surely saunter in any time now. Natsu was already dumbfounded, and she had begun to think that there was no urgent need to find them right then. I mean, I guess, yeah, just eat breakfast without them and just wait and hope they come back. But what if they don't? Ooh. It seems like she's completely forgotten. Well, not forgotten about the bloody doorknob, but she seems like she's completely just doesn't want to mention it. Neither does Genji. I feel like at this point, I feel like eventually throughout the day, if they don't arrive back, I feel like at some point she has to mention the bloody doorknob, right? I mean, come on now. She doesn't actually believe someone just dipped their hands in red liquid and just smear it on her doorknob. Come on now. What type of ridiculous prank is that?
私はお客様方にお茶のご用意をしに厨房へ行きます。二人とも早朝からご苦労様でした。
Motsi, acting as though the release intention had caused a new surge in her headache, left the parlor. Kennen tried to call her as she left, but Natsu departed swiftly.
どうした？まだ何かあるのか？
はい。
There was?
旦那様方のお姿を見つけることはできませんでしたが、その。
Wow. And if it's something very important, I'm gonna be really disappointed in you for not telling her before she walked off. Like, you should have just told her as you were giving the message of everything else. Cannon sounded evasive. He still didn't know where they were, but maybe he had found something with some relation to that. Okay. Okay. When Evan Hideyoshi noticed this exchange of words, they came over. They're like, come on, tell us. What's happening? So, they have probably noticed the slightly strange way Cannon was acting. Yeah.
どうしたんや、カノン君。
Yeah, whoa, what's up, bro?
クラウス兄さんたちは見つかったんか？
実は
Actually,
バラ庭園の倉庫の様子がおかしいのです。
the Rose Garden storehouse? Oh, okay, damn it. That's just what George and Shannon was doing. Yeah, that probably looked odd because George and Shannon were there and they probably messed around with stuff, right? But okay, I thought it was going to be actual new information. Okay, George can just admit to that, though. George can just admit to seeing Shannon last when he was in that storehouse. At least if that's this the storehouse I'm thinking of, if that's the correct one. I called it the hut. Clearly it's a storehouse, I guess. I don't know. I might be wrong.
様子がおかしいというのはどういう意味だ？
What do you mean by that?
それが何と説明すればいいのか。
Just say it, man. What is it? Just say it. Cannon once again hesitated. He wasn't speaking like anything. He wasn't speaking anything like you'd expect from the usually fearless Cannon. He's supposed to be fearless? I thought he was just not very sociable. I didn't think he was fearless. Okay. Evan Hideyoshi exchanged quizzical looks at this display. Interesting. So, seems like they might be out of the loop as well. Or, they're in on it. They're the ones they're the reason everyone has disappeared. And that's why they're like, oh my god, did we forget something in the storehouse? Oh no. Freak. Was there like a rope there? Damn it. We didn't get a good enough job of hiding them, of kidnapping them. Damn it. we have to kidnap Cannon as well tonight. Evan Hideyoshi like, come on. Imagine they're the ones that are actually behind that. We'll see.
どういうこと？
She's trying like, what do you mean? What the frick, did I do a mistake? Did I not do a good enough job of hiding my crime?
倉庫の中に兄さんたちがいたんじゃないの？
I mean, if they were inside the storehouse, I feel like he would have already said that, right?
いえ、中はこれから調べます。
What? Well, what was happening with the storehouse? Just say it. Don't just tell us you're going to Nah, don't leave without telling us the details.
その鍵を取りに戻ったところなのですが。
But what did you see? Tell us. For freak's sake, bro, stop saying just say it. What? Don't mention it if you're gonna go
ようわからんが、とにかく中を調べればいいだけの話じゃないか。
These guys are just trying to hide their steps. Imagine again. I don't think they actually did anything. I do think they're just as confused as everyone else. But you know, the way they're being painted right now, it does seem like it's them, right? Just I'm just going along with it. Just haha. They're trying to backtrack their steps. Okay.
その倉庫の鍵はどこにあるんや。
Where is the key? Good question. Oh, yeah. You of course you want to know what the key is. Yeah.
使用人室にあります。
All right.
すぐに中を確かめましょう。
Oh, we're gonna go right now? What about the tea? Dude, freaking Natsu's gonna come back with the tea like, where's everyone gone? Let's go, I guess. Are we going right now? Cannon dashed off to the servant room and returned with the key. Okay. Genji left the parlor, saying that he would go check, but Evan Hideyoshi also followed. They're just like, frick that, we're leaving you, Cannon. You get the key. We need to go check. If Genji disappears, that would be sus. That would be sus right now. Evan Hideyoshi gonna be like, I don't know, last we saw Genji, he was over there close to the Rose Garden. I don't know, we didn't see him after that, and he's disappeared. It's like, what was this something odd about the storehouse that had caused the usually fearless Cannon to hesitate? Maybe it was another bloody handprint. It was still pouring outside, but their curiosity over this something that Cannon couldn't talk about won out. Okay. While the children made a big fuss watching television, Cannon and the rest dashed off to the entrance. Okay, I gotta remember that. So the children did not go along with them. Alright, the 4 siblings. Cousins, sorry. Interesting. But the rest dashed off. Okay. Alright, we're off. We're outside. The Rose Garden storehouse was a place that housed various tools used to manage the garden. So is this the place then? I guess the hot thing was something else? Right, okay. It wasn't a store. It didn't look like a storehouse, I'll be honest, so that's fair enough. It was definitely not a pretty building. Because of its appearance, it had been built hidden in a corner of the Rose Garden. Cannon, Genji, Eva, and Hideyoshi came cutting across the Rose Garden holding umbrellas. Right. They entered a small path just off the Rose Garden, which was not used by those simply appreciating the garden, but only by those maintaining it. Okay. Okay. As they dashed further along it, the front of the storehouse came into view. Alright, let's look into the storehouse. Let's look at it. Okay, scary sound. Okay, we've never been here. Okay, this is a new location. Finally. It's been hours since we've seen a new location, hasn't it? It was a very old shed of a storehouse, and compared to the flawlessly perfect beauty of the Rose Garden, it was pretty seedy looking. Right. Perfect beauty of the Rose Garden, you say. It was easy to understand why it had been built in a hard-to-see place. Right. So, hard-to-see place, perfect place to hide, for people to disappear into, or hide bodies. Problem is, it's also perfect place to check, right? It's like, hard to see place, storehouse? Yeah, that's a good place to store some bodies, right? Evan and Hideyoshi arrived at the storehouse long after Cannon and Genji. Okay, so Cannon and Genji arrived first. Okay. Well, they are servants. This is their job. They do this a lot. I mean, yeah, you're just a businessman. I don't expect you to be as athletic as servants, necessarily. Unless you do athletic stuff in your off time, in your free time. Which, there are businessmen who do, to be fair. But,
わしは心臓が爆発しそうや。
こんなところに倉庫なんか建ててたのね。何よそれ。
What is what? When Eva looked at where Cannon was pointing, she was at a loss for words. So here we go. What is it? What is it? What is it? When Eva looked at where Cannon was, she was at a loss for words. Where was Cannon pointing? Noticing this, Hideyoshi also followed Cannon's finger and was likewise too shocked to speak. Here we go. Well, it's gonna be another bar of gold. It was no, it's not. No, if they reacted like that, it's not gonna be gold. Is it another bloody handprint? The entrance to the storehouse was a can of shutter. Okay, and there, ooh, entrance to the storehouse was a can of shutter. Okay, okay. Everyone there now understood why Cannon had been unable to find words that could describe what he saw. What did he see? Please don't freaking jump scare me or something once I click here. On the shutter, which was completely filthy from being exposed to wind and rain for so long. Completely filthy from okay. Plastered on it. Plastered. Okay. Well, it's just like a freaking satanic symbol, bro. Something that looked like a strange dark red liquid. Okay, I thought it was gonna be okay. I mean, yeah, the reactions make sense. I thought it was gonna be something scary, like a bloody handprint. But to be fair, it's still a red liquid. It's still, yeah, fair enough. No, yeah, okay. You know what? I expected something different, but okay. It's a weird symbol. Cool. Mucus, or maybe it was some sticky paint. How do we know it's not blood? Ooh, that would be spooky. Some kind of ghastly substance had been used to draw an indescribably eerie shape. Yeah, it's freaking Satan, bro. It's freaking witchcraft. Okay. The rain had caused it to drip down in several places, like fresh blood leaking from an open wound. Nah, yeah, you would use that description, wouldn't you? There was no longer any point in being choosy with words. A ghastly dark red substance meant to look like blood had been used to draw some kind of figure or mark, intended to suggest something ominous. Right. Two concentric circles were drawn there, and inside them was a design that looked like a cross. Yeah. The four ends of the cross were widely exaggerated. Yeah. And it looked like some kind of crest somewhere around Europe. Oh, from somewhere in Europe. Sure. I mean, y'all are in Japan, but I'm glad you know that. I didn't know that. Okay. I mean, to be fair, Europe. Now that I think about it, wasn't Kinzo like very fascinated with Europe? Wasn't he? Like he was like a very like Europe guy. Like he made the mansion and the storehouse or like at least the mansion he made it based off of like a European design and everything. I remember they did say something like that when we were like looking into Kinzo's past and everything. Anyway, and in the cracks between these shapes, written closely packed together, were some unfamiliar characters. What do you mean cracks between these shapes? Like these things? Are these the characters you don't know what? Okay. Closely packed together. Or possibly symbols.
なんちゅう悪趣味な落書きや。これあれか、悪魔の儀式とかの魔法陣いうやつとちゃうか。
Ooh. With reference to this ghastly shape, drawn with a deep red dripping substance, Hideyoshi's comparison was not unreasonable.
これいつ書かれたの？
That is a great question. I'm willing to bet it was after you guys arrived at this island. That's something I'm willing to bet on.
昨日雨が降り出す前にここに来ましたが、その時には何も書かれてませんでした。
Before it started raining, right? So I was right about my assumption. There was nothing drawn here at that time. So it was drawn somewhere between when it started raining and now, I guess. Well, and when you went to check the storehouse. Well, at the very least between the last time you checked and now when you checked now. So a window that is, I want to say, a less than 20-hour window. I want to say somewhere around there. Someone came out here and drew this. Maybe a witch, maybe Beatrice, if she's here.
他の方々の目に触れる前に何とかしよ
Yeah, you're gonna wash it away.
う。ご覧になられたらご不快になられる。
Yeah, I guess especially you don't want to show this to the children, right? Yeah, that makes sense.
そうね。ただの倉庫小屋とはいえ、こんな気持ち悪い落書きを1秒たりとも放置したくないわ。
倉庫の中に塗料もあります。応急処置でとりあえず塗り消して後日天気のいい日に改めて塗装しましょう。
Sounds like a plan. Genji remembered that he had just recently seen another piece of graffiti, and that it too had been made with a strange dark red substance of the same color as this. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really graffiti, more like a handprint. Unless Genji saw another thing other than like the bloody doorknob. He saw actually another piece of proper graffiti. That must have been, that's right, he had seen it on the door to Natsu's room. Yeah, okay, so I'm right, like the bloody handprint.
加納君。
But Natsu isn't here. Yeah, so he can't... Is Genji gonna say something about that to them? Or is he gonna talk with Natsu first?
さっさとこの落書きを消して戻りましょう。
Okay.
たとえ倉庫とはいえ、実家の落書きは本当に腹立たしいわ。
はい、すぐに済ませますので。
Okay. Cannon squatted in front of the shutter and unlocked it. He then lifted it up with all of his strength. Let's go, Cannon! Strong Cannon! A boisterous noise resounded, and the eerie shape drawn on the shutter began to get sucked in through the top as the shutter was raised. At least for the time being, that ominous thing disappeared from their direct gaze, and they all breathed a sigh of relief. Thanks to a kids program that they had come across, Mari was feeling much better. Battler and Jessica were making fun of the kids program at every turn, cackling. As you do when you're as old as them, of course, you just make fun of kids programs. It's like, haha, can't believe you watched this when we were like 8 years old. Lamau. We're funny, right? George was enjoying the program along with Maria. Of course he would. Nanjo sat on a sofa by himself, passing the time by reading quietly. Okay, so interesting that the visual novel is making it a point to make sure to tell us where every single person is right now, every single person that we know of. Interesting. Interesting. They heard hurried footsteps coming from the hallway. They were footsteps from a single person. Did that mean that it wasn't the group of 4 that had just left? Genji was the one who had returned. These were like, Natsui! Where's Natsui? I have to tell her about the bloody circle. It was very rare for Genji, who considered being out of breath a violation of a servant's virtues, to be gasping for air. Ooh, yeah, that is rare. He had probably come dashing back from outside the mansion. His shoulders were soaking wet, and he didn't have his usual smart appearance. When Genji noticed Nanjo looking at him, he gave a small silent bow and quickly approached him.
南條先生、申し訳ございません。至急お越しください。
何事ですかな。
As Genji whispered something into Nanjo's ears, Nanjo's face changed color. Nanjo's ear. He stood from the sofa, trying not to be noticed by the children who were still engrossed by the TV, and the two of them rapidly left the parlor, muffling their footsteps. Just as they were leaving the parlor, perfect timing. Natsuhi, she's the one that had the bloody print on her doorknob. They came across Natsuhi, who was pushing a serving cart loading with a tea set. Genji whispered something into Natsuhi's ear, and Natsuhi's face too changed color, shocked. Then, leaving the serving cart where it was, the three of them started dashing towards the entrance. George noticed them running down the rose garden through the window. Yeah, so George is probably gonna be like, "Hey guys, be right back, I have to go to the bathroom." And he's gonna follow through. Of course, George would notice something like that though.
なんだろう。源氏さんと南條先生とあれは夏日おばさんかな。
どうしたんだよ、兄貴。
何かあったのかな。ひどい慌てようだったね。
Jessica and Maria, who also realized that something had happened from the fact that Eva, Hideyoshi, and Nanjo were no longer in their seats. And because the serving cart had been abandoned at the entrance to the parlor.
何か事故でもあったとか？
行ってみようぜ。俺たちだけのけ者なんて面白くねえしな。
Hell yeah, we got left out of Cross's amazing walk, but also out of this little magic circle. That's right, Battler. Let's go. Great mindset. Only problem is hopefully Madia doesn't get cursed, like doesn't get like spooked out by the circle. Hopefully they've covered it up by the time the kids arrive. That'll be great. Anyway, for some reason, what Battler said sounded extremely indiscreet. What do you mean? How? But they couldn't deny that they were a little insecure and concerned after seeing the adults run off into the rain, disregarding their appearance.
行ってみようぜ。何があったか気になるぜ。
Jessica's insecure words spoke for all of them.
おい、マリア。お前も来るか。
You might see a bloody circle that's gonna scare you.
それともテレビを見てるか。
Really? I thought you didn't want to be left out. I was sure Maria was gonna follow them. Okay, I mean, you do your thing.
僕たちだけで行こう。マリアちゃん、すぐ戻るからね。
Weird that she decides to stay back though.
テレビを見て待ってるんだよ。
I mean, I guess the TV show she's watching really is that good. I don't know. I thought just a second ago she was like she didn't want to be like left alone or something interesting because like the rest of the family disappeared. But now that all of these guys are all panicking, she's like, you know what? Nah, TV. Let me stick to my SpongeBob. Okay. Y'all sure y'all want to leave Maria alone though? I mean, I guess it's fine. If she's just chilling watching TV, I guess it's fine. By the time the kids went outside, they had lost sight of the adults who had left earlier. Where could the adults have gone? Okay. But it looked like Jessica had a pretty good idea of where they had gone from the direction they had been running. Following Jessica, they ran through the rain-soaked rose garden. It felt like the wind suddenly got stronger. The malicious sound of thunder began to ring out like it had the previous night. So they didn't take umbrellas with them? That would have been better, I think. Nah, just ran out to the rain, out in the rain. That's a vibe in itself, to be fair, running out in the rain. It felt like something eerie had surrounded the island and was trying to stop them from moving forward. It's like the witch is stopping them. Oh.
ジェシカ、この先には何があるんだ。
確か 園芸道具なんかの倉庫があったはずだぜ。
そんなところに一体何があるんだろうね。
Wouldn't you know, George? I feel like he might know something. Nah, I'm joking. I don't know. I always thought George was sus, though. I've said this since the beginning of the visual novel. George is sus. But okay. Oh yeah, by the way, I haven't seen like the opening of Umineko since the first time I've seen it. Because I'm scared now, after knowing a bit more context about stuff, I might get spoiled about stuff that is in the opening of Umineko. But when I first watched it, I didn't know any of the characters, I didn't know anything. So I was watching the opening like completely out of context, so if there were any spoilers, I didn't notice them. But now that I have more context about small stuff, I haven't looked at the opening. Just wanted to mention that. And yeah, I haven't looked up anything Umineko related either, so that's another thing. Anyway, cause yeah, I don't want to get spoiled, obviously. Please don't spoil me. Oh, that would be rude. Okay, just as Jessica had said, a storehouse came into view in front of them. They could also see the adults there. Okay, a storehouse came into view. That's that's great. That's great. The shutter to the storehouse was open, and several of the adults looked as though they were searching for something. Searching for something? Is it really taking them that long to find paint to put over like the shutter? For some reason, only Nazi was outside the storehouse, not even holding an umbrella. She was facing away from them, and it looked like she was hanging her head. She was facing away from them. Interesting. The ones who had just left, Genji, Nanjo, Natsui. The ones who had just left. Right. Oh, right. Yeah. Of course. Just left the mansion. I'm like, what? What is the visual novel trying to tell me? Okay. Yeah. And the ones who had left before them, Kanon, Evan, Hideyoshi, made this a large gathering of people, but there was absolutely no bustle of activity. When Natsu realized that the children had come, a terrible expression rose to her face, and she ran at them with her arms spread wide. Don't look! You're gonna get cursed! No! You cannot be allowed to witness this! Oh, thank God Maria isn't here! Ooh, can't have the youngest of you, stare at this. Don't you dare! However, no. Because of that, the kids saw that scene which Nazi was trying to keep them away from. That scene? Isn't it just a bloody circle? Come on now. I mean, it's spooky, but it's not that bad. So this is the storehouse. Inside the storehouse, with the shutter wide open, a flickering fluorescent light shone down. Wait a minute. A flickering light? Oh no! Where do I remember this from? Shannon with Beatrice? Flickering light? Flickering light from a butterfly, specifically. A butterfly. I think it was a butterfly, at least. And over there, a bloody circle! Whoa! Whoa! Golden Slaughter. That was a scream. That was a scream. What is this? Okay, this is... There's no way she's screaming over a bloody circle. What's going on? Jessica's piercing shriek rang out. What? Okay, I'm gonna raise the volume. Because I'm liking the vibe now. But that was just because Jessica's scream was the loudest. The same thing spilled out of Battler and George's mouth as well. What the frick? What? What's happening now? Eva, just like Nazi, spread her arms and with a terrible expression roared at the kids. What is this music? Wait, what just happened? Isn't it just a bloody circle? Oh, no, they're inside the shutter now. They're inside the storehouse. Something else is in there. Thank goodness Maria came here. Whatever this is, thank goodness Maria, the little kid, didn't come here. This music, the holy crap. Take everyone and return to the mansion. When Natsu had spread her arms, one might have thought that she was trying to prevent them from advancing any further. However, right now, that wasn't why Eva was spreading her arms. She was trying to hide that terrible scene from the kids? What scene? It was her mother's heart, trying to protect the eyes and hearts of us children by attempting to block her view of the terrible scene by at least the width of one of her arms. What is it? What scene? Is this why Genji came running back? That's some impressive reaction from Genji though. If Genji had seen whatever this is... Yo, this music is hyping me up though. What? Is this some kind of joke? Is it? Blood. Alrighty then. I had seen this kind of cheap scene all too often. In manga, TV, anime and movies. I had seen it over and over again. What the frick, man? This was just seeing something appear in real life that I'd seen plenty of times before in some of those more sensational movies. Wasn't it? That alone shouldn't... but that suit is that old bastard's, isn't it? Oh, Rudolph! Rudolph! I mean, he did call it. He'd called it upon himself. He told the rest of the family, like, hey, yo, y'all, I'm probably gonna die tonight. He called it. Wow! That suit. I get it. Then that's Uncle Cross. Oh, he's too! He's dead too! He's gone too! Oh! Double kill. Alright. Do we get to see the bodies? And Kirya! And Auntie Rosa! Rosa's... No, Rosa! No, Rosa! Oh, I was hoping she'd get away, man! No! Wow! That's my reaction too! What the frick, man? What the frick? Not Rosa! Nah, man! Not Rosa! Nah, copium! She's not copium. Nah, Rosa isn't that. Nah, man, not Rosa. What are you gonna tell little poor Maria? Oh, my favorite character died. What the frick, man? Of course my favorite character dies. I mean, multiple characters die. Boo! Boo, man! Not Rosa. Do you get to see their bodies at least? Yeah, it's your freaking dad. Phew, freaking awesome job. Do we get to see the bodies though? That would be hype. If you got to see the bodies, that would be hype. That would be freaking hype. You mustn't, Jessica. Man, this shifted up real quick, didn't it? Woo. Okay. Has that accounted for everyone missing though? Okay, 4 dead bodies in here. Is that everyone missing? That's everyone missing, right? That's everyone missing. So what was that bloody handprint then? Eva and Hideyoshi are probably like the first suspects, right? I feel like they have to be the first suspects. Though they're the only 2 who are alive. Natsu was saved because of the thing Jessica gave her. That's it. That's the only reason she's alive. She would have been one of the dead bodies. She would have been 100%. Whatever it is Jessica gave her, bro. That witchcraft, Beatrice did this. What the frick, man? Okay, wait. Let's calm ourselves. Who died? I think... No, wait, Goda! Where's Goda? Goda also disappeared. And Shannon! The servants! Yeah. We've only accounted for the family members. Wait. We haven't found everybody yet. Right, I knew there were more people that disappeared. God damn, her dad's dead, for real. Ooh. Okay. Oh, do we get to see the bodies? That'll be hype. I mean, I understand if it's too brutal, but I would like to see the bodies. The bodies, please. Oh. I don't want to see your body. Rigor mortis has set in across the entire body. I don't know what that is, but good job, doctor. Let me look at the body. I want to see blood. 6 hours? Ooh, what time is it right now? 8 a.m.? They died at 2 a.m. They were arguing until midnight. Rudolph told Kirye and his son Battler that he was probably gonna die tonight. Unfortunately, Kirye's dead too. Kirye's gone too. Kirye's out of here. Bro! Thank goodness Maria's watching TV. That's great. I mean, Genji, what Genji should have done, if Genji saw this, Genji should have like told Natsu to stay for the kids. He should have like had Natsu stop the kids from ever. They should have locked the door to the parlor. Like, why are you having kids looking at this? That's true. I'm assuming Genji saw the bodies, and that's why he rushed back. You know, and he was like, right? He was like all exasperated. If Genji saw the bodies, right? He's running out, goes back to the mansion, right? Like, I feel like my first thought is, oh my god, multiple people have died. Alright, let's make sure the kids don't get to witness this, and they have. It's too late now. They're cursed forever, bro. Jessica screamed the loudest. Jessica's wilding out right now, and I'm just here in disbelief. Like, oh man, I've seen this in movies, but yeah, that's my dad. Hey, that's my dad. Then that's my uncle. Dad. That's my stepmom. Dad. Yeah, she's dead too. That's great. Auntie Rosa died. I cannot cope with that. I cannot. Damn it. I knew there was a possibility that she was dead, but like I was really like going on copium. Come on, man. Ah, frick. Why couldn't you could have switched Rosa and Eva around? I mean, I get Eva makes the story more interesting because she's the drama queen, but man, would have been not Rosa. So 6 hours has passed since their death. So after their whole argument, they died. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Rudolph did tell Kiryan and Battler he was probably gonna die tonight, but and you know, I took it as a joke. Battler took it as a joke. But you know, in real life, I didn't. Like, but Battler did. But Kirye was there too. But Rudolph didn't say, I'm probably gonna die tonight, and you're probably gonna die too, Kirye. So it seems like, I don't know how Rudolph knew he was gonna die that night. I don't know what his thought process was. But he didn't warn Kirye, hey, you're probably gonna die too. I don't know why he did that. He didn't do that. I mean, I guess it's not to scare off Kirye, but I mean, if she's gonna die anyway, I mean, whatever. I guess he doesn't know the full reason why he's gonna die. I don't know. They were damaged after their deaths? Huh. So someone killed them and then damaged their body some more? That is messed up. I mean, like if you're gonna kill someone over business, don't damage the body to death. Like, let's just leave them to die, man. What did they do? Did they like mutilate their bodies or chop them up to pieces or something? That would be fun. Sure. I like the music. The vibe of the music is great. Aunt Nancy caught Jessica in her arms and Auntie Eva caught George Aniki. Aww, Battler doesn't have anyone to catch him. Both his parents died, bro. Battler has it the worst, bro. Like, at least Jessica, her mother's alive. George, her mother's alive. Let's not freaking tell Maria anything, because her mother is dead and we don't know where Maria's dad is. But I don't have anyone. I'm just out here like, bro, my stepmom's there, my dad is there, god damn. And just 6 years ago, I witnessed my real mom die. Well, I say real mom, I mean biological, you get what I mean. Besides, I don't even see Battle doesn't see Kirya as his stepmom. But too late now, you can't see her as anything, she's freaking dead, oh my god. So I was the only one who could approach the entrance to the storehouse. Ooh, this has turned, bro. This has gone real. If only there had been someone here to catch me too. But I bear witness to it all. I saw the bodies. I wouldn't have needed to have this horrible, evil scene burned into my eyes. Man, and I'm only like, what, 18 years old in the game? Damn, in the visual novel? Damn. That's rough, buddy. That's rough, buddy. Oh, no, that's not it. I'm standing here, not because the people who would catch me aren't here, but because the people who would catch me are right here. That's what I'm saying! That's what I'm saying! Like, bro, nobody's even there to catch you, bro. They're literally right in front of me. Dead! Both of them! Both of them! At least if Kiria was alive, she'd help you out, because, you know, Rudolph already predicted his death. But nah, she went off too, bruh. Hey, whoever did this is... It's kind of evil to Battler. You know, at least leave one of his parents alive, even if it's stepmom. I mean, that's some support, some like direct family support, but nah. Oh. I mean, okay, wait. So Eva grabbed George, right? At least have Hideyoshi, even though it's not his real dad. Have him grab Battler, help him out. Hideyoshi, come on now. Just as Jessica said, it did look like a storehouse used to keep gardening tools. A lawnmower and its replacement blades, a grass sickle and a hammer. So I guess those were used to kill these lot? I mean, sure, possible. A saw and some construction tools. Piled up potted plants and bags of fertilizer. So I'm guessing this is where Cannon got his fertilizer from during the beginning of the visual novel. You guys remember that? Cannon got his fertilizer? Bro! Cannon is a suspect immediately for that one. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie there. And treated just the same, the corpses of several people had been laid to rest there. No, had been thrown in there. Yeah, more blood. I guess they're just gonna show us blood rather than their actual corpses and dresses and bodies, which, I mean, fair enough. You know, you don't want to go full blasting, blood blasting. But nah, to be fair though, at least in Higurashi in the anime, like they were pretty, like their deaths were pretty brutal, man. Like Rika held the knife on the wall and then just like stabbed her head with it, and they showed us the whole thing. In Go, like we saw like Rika's whole like intestines and everything. They were just spilling out. I don't know. I mean, fair enough. Maybe visual novels work differently. I don't know. It's my first visual novel, so I could tell them by their clothes. yeah. You can't tell them by their looks. So their bodies have been chopped up, maybe somewhat at least. That old bastard in Kirie-san. Yeah. You sure you wanna call him that after he's dead? You know, you should want to put at least some respect to someone who just died, man, or 6 hours ago. Uncle Cross and Auntie Rosa. I'm still in disbelief over Rosa dying, man. I'm not having it. Further back, Gora-san and wait a minute. Oh, they're here too. There's still more of them. Oh, so Gora is here. So where's Shannon? Is Shannon here too? Oh, George is gonna be livid. He just confessed to her, bro. That immediately makes me think this wasn't the work of George. If he confessed to her and then killed her, that wouldn't make sense. How many people died? Wait. So Gora is here, further back. Gora is here. Is Shannon here? Where's her, like, dress, like her servant dress? Freaking hell, I can't even count them on one hand. God damn, oh my god. I didn't know whether it had been one of these gardening tools, which if used for something other than their intended purpose could definitely be wielded with a naked brutality. I mean, yeah, it's possible. Or whether some horrible tool had been brought in here specifically for this. Whatever the case, the bodies lying about here, each of them had been given an atrocious makeover. This isn't a damn makeover. This is more like their faces have been plowed. Oh, their faces were smashed, forced into an expression that a normal person couldn't make even after death. So someone smashed their face. So yeah, someone damaged their bodies even after death. I couldn't tell where the eyes or the nose were. but I could find the mouth because it was gaping wide, the ridges of the teeth exposed. Okay, that is actually pretty brutal for an 18-year-old to see, right there. But the front teeth were missing, and even the cheek that should have covered that was all torn up and exposed. The stylish makeup that he spent way too much time fussing over for a guy is no help at all. Okay. That's the face. Yeah, you don't want to call him old bastard now. He's like, it's your dad now. This is the first time he's done this expression. Well, someone definitely thought he was, unless they're just playing games. Nah, Rosa. Yeah, it's because you went out with this guy that you done. Wait, Rosa though. I mean, okay, I love Kiria and you know Rudolph's school too, but Rosa though. I mean, not Rosa. Come on now. Why did not Rosa? Rosa should have. We're still in episode 1. We have episode 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I think. And Rosa's done already in episode 1. Like, man, who am I gonna latch on to? I guess the only person I should really latch on to is Battler, because he's the main character. He's probably gonna survive for long enough, hopefully. But, man, I'm just gonna not latch on to anyone except Battler. I mean, if they're all gonna die, like, god damn, man. Ah! I mean, they're probably not all gonna die. Surely not. I mean, you know, let's keep the people we do have alive. Besides, we still don't have any confirmation of where Shannon's body is. We saw Gora, but not Shannon. That's something big. Yeah, nah. Oh.
バトラーさん、これ以上見てはいかん。こんな姿をお父さんもお母さんもあんたに見せたいわけがない。お父さんとお母さんのためにもこれ以上見てはいかん。死者ってのは安らかに眠る顔ってやつを拝ませてくれるんじゃねえのかよ。
Well, unless they're murdered and damaged after their death, then I guess not. I mean, they were probably screaming in horror. Other than Rudolph, actually. Rudolph expected himself to die, so maybe not. Maybe he was just like, ah, the Grim Reaper, what's up? I can't expect it to be here tonight. You don't have to, but yeah, this is kind of burned into your memory now, right? Too bad, mate. You know you don't mean that. What did Kiria-san ever do to anybody? But, okay, so Kiria's dead. I'll keep her values with me. I'll keep her values of flipping the chessboard with me. Alright, that's something. Episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will keep Kiria's thoughts and theories with me. Thanks, Kiria. You've done your job for your life for now. For this visual novel. Thanks, Kiria. I won't forget you. Okay, I get that these are your parents, but can we talk about Rosa? What the frick, man? I don't want to remember. I'm so no. I don't want to say I'm not glad I don't get to see the corpses. Not gonna lie, I do want to see the corpses. We probably won't, but come on, man. Like at the same time, like not seeing Rosa's like face, damaged face now that she's dead. It's kind of pleased to me. Like I get to remember the awesome Rosa as she was. But oh well.
黒掃除さんなんかまだマシじゃねえか。顔面じゃなくて側面だぜ。少なくとも顔半分は残ってるじゃねえかよ。
Good thing he's describing his bodies. I can at least imagine it in my head.
まだマシだぜ、まだマシだぜ。
At least I can imagine their corpses because Battler is describing them. But Kiria is yeah. Oh wow. Jessica's still screaming as expected. Great voice acting from both Battler and Jessica here, by the way. Just gonna mention that. Big up, good job. Trying to shout out my reckless words, Jessica tried to fill her ears with the sound of her own screaming. Like, shut up, I don't wanna hear you!
よすんだ、バタラ君。
Stop describing the bodies!
もうよすんだ。もうよすんだ。兄貴、兄貴。
Disregarding age and appearance, I fell to my knees, clinging to Aniki's waist and sobbing. It was as if I was crying on behalf of everyone there. Representing the feelings of everyone there, I screamed over and over. Okie dokie. On to you, Rosa, man. Not you, not you. She's still alive. Copium. I'm on copium. I don't care. I'm gonna.
お父さん。
Yeah, George, you got away with... No, I'm joking, guys. I was gonna say George got away with that because both of his parents are alive, but that's not fair, is it? That's not fair. He's having it rough as well, of course. Of course, guys. But... what are we gonna do about Maria? No, forget Maria, bro. I mean, of course I care about Maria, but Rosa did not have to die. Not tonight, man. Not tonight. That's 3 of the siblings gone, by the way. Yeah, that's true. Now that I think about it, Eva is the only like main sibling left. Ooh. It's almost like I feel like the first suspect would be Evan Hideyoshi, possibly, right? Because Eva's the only one left. I feel like it would make sense if she was the first suspect. It's like, all right, where is all this inheritance going to? You know, Kinzo, grandfather, where's his inheritance going to? Oh, guess what? There's only one like direct bloodline child left alive, and she has the eldest son, George. So everything just falls upon her. Oh boy, what a coincidence! So I feel like the first suspect would be Eva, and especially the way Eva's been acting so far in the visual novel, very easy to just put a target on Eva and Hideyoshi possibly. I don't think so. I think Beatrice had some hand in this. Where the hell is Beatrice? She needs to explain, or she needs to leave another message to Maria. You need to speak to Beatrice. Is Beatrice ever gonna get any voice lines or something? If she is a real thing, I mean, she might be alive, but she has her whole portrait and everything. If she does exist, then I want to see her, you know, properly, hopefully. I don't know. Anyway.
倒れているのはクラウスおじさん、ルドルフおじさん、キリエおばさんにローザおばさん、ゴーダさんで
Shannon?
5人。
5 people. We're missing Shannon. We're missing Shannon. We are missing Shannon. That's big. We are missing Shannon. Goro's new piece of information, thanks to Battler. But we are missing Shannon. Frick Rosa dying, man. I ain't okay with that. I'm obviously... If you've been watching my read-through so far, you'd know I ain't happy about that. I ain't happy about Rosa dying, of course. You know, like, I've said this multiple times before that she was my favorite character so far. So you probably were expecting... Man... Yeah. I mean, I know some people like because I got a comment of someone saying that like you know so a lot of people are watching this and them included are watching this already knowing what happens in the story. So I imagine if you've been watching my read through so far and you already played read the whole thing, me going like, oh yeah, Rosa's my favorite character, and then you're probably just like laughing in the back, like in your head like he's gonna hit him when she dies. Yahoo! Frick you. Nah, man. Rosa didn't deserve that. Come on now. I want to see more developments of her character. But Cross dying, interesting. Cross dying is the most interesting. Well, Rudolph too, to be fair, because I feel like Kirie, as much as I love Rosa, but Kirie, Rosa, and Gora, like they haven't done anything directly related to the gold or the witch story or anything. Rudolph called his own death. Cross had the gold ingot. That's why these two are the most interesting deaths to me, by far. Because these three haven't done anything I feel like directly related to the gold. Kiryu was interesting with her flipping the chessboard thing, but and she was theorizing about it, and she did seem like she was a smart person. It could be a reason why she was eliminated early by whoever it is that killed these lot off. I'm assuming it's the same person, right? Or it's at least the same two, three, or group of people that killed these lot. I'm assuming it's not a separate kill streak, but multiple different people. Again, assuming I could very much be wrong, but considering all the bodies are hidden at the same place, uh, it does seem that way. Um, so they could have eliminated Kiryu off because she was too smart. I feel like is could be an argument be made there. Rosa because she's the mother of the messenger. But I really wish they didn't kill Rosa. Gora, I don't really see any reason why you'd kill him, other than other than just to stop these the rest of the people from having great meals. Just to stop them from having some good food. A trash breakfast made by Kumasawa. that's that's the only thing I'm seeing there. Rudolph, the fact that he called his own death is sauce. I feel like. I wonder what piece of information made him think that. Um, because it makes me wonder if if the witch did have a hand in all of this, was Rudolph expecting to die because he learned something about the witch before dying, or was Rudolph expecting to die simply because he suspected one of his siblings to kill him that night? Which, to be fair, isn't that terrible of an assumption considering three siblings are dead here. So, like, if you are one of the siblings, chances are you're probably dead tonight, other than Eva. So, I don't know what Rudolph was thinking. I'm trying to flip the chessboard here. I don't know what type of information made Rudolph do that. Cross is another interesting death because, like I said, the gold ingot. But that kind of lives on with Natsui now. So Natsui's immediately being raised to become a very interesting character now, Natsui. And the fact that she was given the whole thing by Jessica to protect herself, and it seems like someone tried to kill Natsui that night too. That immediately rises Natsui up to being one of the most interesting, like, top characters right now to be watching out for. And we have had in the second day right now. In the second day, we've had a lot of focus on Nazi. So it seems like the visual novel really wants to point out, like, okay, Nazi's gonna be a big character. Like she's more than what I thought she'd be at the start. I feel like I thought Cross was gonna be a more relevant character than Nazi. I'll be honest, like, out of these I was really hoping Rosa wouldn't die. I was really hoping Rosa wouldn't, because she's my favorite character, obviously. But I feel like the visual novel may have set it up for her to be a very likable character, just for her to die, possibly. I mean, I might have fallen for that. Haha, you got me. Frick you. Kiria, um, Kiria. I never thought Kiria was going to be like super important either, simply because like she didn't really talk much during the arguments, but she did have again that interesting flip in the chessboard discussion. That is one like the interesting part for her. Gora, his servant, makes good food and also was being a piece of crap to the other servants, so his death I mean, he shares name with the goat that made One Piece, of course, Goda, but like I didn't like. That's the original why I liked him in the beginning. But then when I saw the way he was treating the other servants, I'm like, nah, man, frick you. um, Rudolph I expected to be Rudolph and Cross, especially Cross, expected Cross to be a bit more relevant of a character, especially after that gold ingot situation. But it seems like that gold ingot situation and the whole thing of him not trusting Nazi might have been just a setup to elevate Nazi's character further. So that could be it. And it did seem like Cross was, well, I was gonna say it did seem like Cross was gonna be a static character, but it definitely could have been built up to be a very developed character though. But okay, and yeah, okay. I was gonna say it's not confirmed that any of these guys have died, considering the fact that we haven't seen their dead bodies. But to be fair, with so many people now looking at their dead bodies, going like, "Oh yeah, all of these guys are dead." I feel like I just wanna, I might as well just confirm these guys are dead, unless there's some more magic stuff going on by Beatrice, and she's gonna revive them, because that is what it says in the epitaph. After all, if we believe in Beatrice's words in the letter in the epitaph, then at the last day she's gonna revive everyone, and she's gonna go back to her slumber thing or whatever, before them being reincarnated again in the next like ritual. Um, now, now, one thing I haven't talked about yet is Kinzo, and I won't really go into detail about Kinzo either, because Kinzo is Kinzo. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave Kinzo here for now. We'll see more about Kinzo later. Kinzo, I bet you he expected this to happen. Obviously, he definitely expected this to happen. Like when he tossed the ring from his finger, tossed the ring, and he was like, "Let the ritual begin" or whatever, "Let the magic begin." He expected people to die tonight. I mean, so if you go to Kinzo right now and tell him these lot died, he's gonna be like, interesting. So these people, okay, cool. Thanks for the information. Which we are probably gonna tell him. Genji's probably gonna go tell Kinzo, right? Uh, I wonder if Genji's ever been involved in a ritual like this before. I'm guessing not. I'm guessing this is like the second time the ritual is happening to Kinzo. Because I'm guessing the rituals happened before. If we assume all this witchcraft thing is real and what Beatrice is saying is real, Kinzo has already had this type of thing happen to him before, and that's where he got his wealth and the gold ingots that are carved in the whole eagle crest. So I'm guessing that's where he got that. And Kinzo, um, after that, after he gained his riches, then hired Genji as a servant, who was a very loyal servant, and this ritual never happened again until now, which is why Genji's all shocked, even after spending decades doing this whole thing. But I feel like Genji after this might start believing in Kinzo. Genji might not have fully believed Kinzo before this, but he might fully believe Kinzo now after what's going on. He might be like, "Holy crap, Kinzo! Wait, was this witch thing real all along? Holy crap, I didn't expect that." I mean, I doubt Genji's gonna say that, obviously, but that might be what's going on what's going on in his head right now. But I'm just saying, if Genji did see the bodies and then run to Nanjo to tell him about it, and Natsu as well, then my man is super calm. He just went over there, whispered to Nanjo, "Hey ho, some people died." Then went to Natsu and like, "Yeah, some people died. Let's go." And like ran over. Like Genji has to be the calmest person ever. If that was me, I'll be panicking like, "Hey yo, some people died. Family members died. Holy crap, that's insane." That's what we like. Genji's just like, whew, just like jog back. Let's just tell everyone super calm. Anyway, enough talking. I've done a lot of talking there. Let out all my thoughts out for now, and consider the hype music has stopped. I felt like it was a good place to talk about my immediate thoughts right there. Of course, my thoughts might change, once I'm done with this part and have time to think. But yeah, nuts. Let's keep it moving.
いや6人や
Shannon is here? Okay. Well, for frick's sake. All the copium left in me of Rosa being alive is like gone now, because Shannon is here too, apparently.
ここに
Shannon?
もう一人おる
Shannon, right? Well, what is Hideyoshi doing? Is he digging through the boys? Like, like, oh, there's Shannon, there's her dress. The body that Hideyoshi was looking down on was hidden in the shadow of a mountain of random objects. Interesting. Interesting that was the body that was hidden. In the shadow of a mountain of random objects. Interesting. in a blind spot to George, who stood by the entrance. That is interesting. So her body's like away from the rest of the victims, and we can't even say that it's because she's a servant, because Goro died too with them, along with the rest, hidden in the shadow. You say. So George couldn't tell whose body it was. Well, George is not going to be very happy to hear his future wife dying. I'll say that much. Well, possibly future wife. The woman he literally proposed to yesterday at night. I've said George is sus multiple times until now. Um, but I doubt he would confess to a woman and then kill her if it was her. This is him. I mean, I doubt he'd do that, right? I mean, unless he's some sicko, has some crazy plans. I, I, I still think he's sus, but like my sus of him has relieved a bit. um, but yeah, if the body is split from the rest of the bodies, we could have had a job where the rest were killed first, put in here, and then that could open a room for possibility that another murderer decided to kill Shannon, if whether this is Beatrice or not, or it could be the same murderer, decided to kill Shannon, but decided to put her body in a separate location from the rest. Well, in the same shutter, obviously, in the same storehouse, but in a slightly different location. That is interesting. Shannon is like the one we really got to hang out with last night too, compared to the rest. Like we really got to hang out with Shannon before her death, and we saw the whole thing with the flickering butterfly, and that it meant that she was the ruler of the night, and that she will die if you saw like a flickering butterfly or something. I don't know. I don't know if Shannon's death is anything special, different than the rest of the deaths, but yeah, just want to mention that first. Therefore, George cursed himself. Yeah, George. At this point, you were planning to marry her. If I were you, I just not look at the body. Like it. I feel like if I proposed to a woman, and then I found a bunch of bodies, dead, and then, her body is also in the room, but like she's the one I proposed to. I was planning to marry her. Like I feel I wouldn't even. I wouldn't. I don't want to. I wouldn't want her damaged dead body to be in my head. Like I don't want to remember her like that. And I doubt she, who kind of accepted my invitation, wants me to remember her like that. So I feel like at that point I'm just like, nah, I don't want to look at her. It's fine. I've looked at the rest already. It's fine. But I want to look at her though. Like I want to look at the dead bodies. Am I a psychopath? I could be a psychopath. Is something wrong with me for wanting to look at the dead bodies? I mean, it's a visual novel. Come on now. I don't know. You can let me do that much. Come on. Now. Isn't this visual novel like 18 plus? If you're gonna have murders up in here, this visual novel is 18 plus. It's fine. You can show dead bodies. It's fine. He cursed a part of himself that imagines the worst, and is always right.
じゃあお父さんの足元に倒れているのはシャノンなんだね。
Hey, use her real name like you used yesterday. I forgot it. That's why I wanted to say it again. And of course I'm not gonna Google it. Imagine I Googled her name though. Imagine that. This is why I didn't want to Google anything. I haven't Googled anything about Umineko because I'm so scared. It's happened before where like you Google like something about a show and it's like, oh, death. And you're just like, well, that's kind of sucks. Yeah, I haven't Googled anything about Umineko. Like, nah, I'm staying away from spoilers. I could have easily gotten spoiled by this by once going like, I forgot what Shannon's real name is. Like that. If they're not gonna mention Shannon's real name in this visual novel, like Jordan's not gonna mention it, and I've forgotten it, then it's fine. Either you guys remind me, or I'm not going to I'm not gonna look it up. I'm not looking anything up regarding Umineko. I am staying clear of spoilers, although people already died, so a bit less spoilers to worry about now, but still could be spoilers for the future if anyone else ends up dying. Who knows? I mean, we're on the second day now. Stuff could happen.
Oh, Shannon-chan.
Okay, so it's confirmed. Cool. Oh, world end BP. Oh. George was completely silent. He shook slightly, his lower lip trembling. He wanted to run up to his beloved, screaming and crying. Oh. But before running up to her, he mustered up all of his strength and asked his father.
シャノンもクラウスおじさんたちと同じなのかな。
Hideyoshi deeply understood the meaning of those words. So he couldn't give George a quick answer. Now you have to be honest. You have to give. Yeah, he thought that to George right now, that was the only possible sincere and loving response. Now, yeah, you have to. You have to give an honest response to Hideyoshi. You have to. As a father, as a husband, you know what it's like to propose. You know you have to do it, bro. You have to do it, Hideyoshi. Tell him. I, hey, hey. You've said the entire vision of about how George is not old. He's older than the rest of the cousins. He's okay. He can handle stuff. Now's the time, man. Tell him the truth. When George had asked whether she was the same, he had meant to ask whether her corpse was the same as the others, of course. Since Hideyoshi hadn't denied it, it meant that the body was just as horrible.
シャノンを見てもいいかな。
Kinda messed up. But okay.
いや、あかん。
You can't.
どうして？だってもう二度とシャノンの顔を見られないんだよ。
I mean, do you really want this to be your last memory of her? Do you not want her happy face of accepting your like ring that you gave her to be your last like memory of her face? You really think? I don't know, man. It's a choice, but I mean, the choice you do now will impact you for life, bro. Because that's like the woman you originally wanted to marry, man. Just saying. Like when you're 50 years old and you've maybe married someone else, you're gonna be like, damn, Shannon was my first one, and like the last thing I remember of her was her dead, damaged body, mutilated body. Are you sure? Are you sure that's what you want? Or are you gonna be like, man, she died, but like, thankfully I looked away and didn't see her dead body. Like, I'm just saying, it's a choice. It's a choice, bro. Just saying. You could have other thoughts, but it's a choice. Oops.
その最後の顔どうして見たらいけないんだよ。
Because maybe her face isn't there. Have you seen the rest of the bodies? Where aren't their faces like completely like just like butchered? Other than Cross, who has half his face.
お前が最後にシャノンちゃんに会ったのは昨日か。
Well, the last time everyone met Shannon-chan was yesterday. Yes, bro. Everyone saw her yesterday.
そうか。そのシャノンちゃんは別れ際にお前にどんな顔を見せたんや。
She was showing a happy face. I remember that whole like screen of her being super happy. Like, oh, thank you for the gift. That's how I imagine, she what was it going on in her head, right? You want to remember her like that? I want to remember that as Shannon's last. If I was George, of course I want to see her body, but if I was George, I'd want to remember that as my last thing.
素敵な。
Wonderful smile. Oh, nah, man, don't hit me like that. After receiving the ring, look at her, bro, and her face is probably damaged, her body's all damaged. Oh man, she's dead. Oh, man, don't do that. She was bewildered even though her heart should have been decided. Bashful. And so embarrassed to show him that face that she ran away. That expression was revived in George's mind. Let that be the last memory of her. I'm sure that's what she wants to. I'm sure she wants that to be your last memory of her, man. Man. God damn.
そうか。
That might be the last time we see Shannon like that, guys. That might be the last time we see Shannon, period. So let's also engrave that into our heads. We might not get to see her body. But, oh.
ならシャノンちゃんもその笑顔をお前に残したいと願うはずや。
Man, despite all these dead bodies around them, the fact that Hideyoshi is like being this calm about this discussion is big play. Good job, Hideyoshi. Interesting that, considering all these people died and are hanging about here, none of them are in immediate fear of being killed as well right now. All of them are just like, yeah, let's just investigate this further and talk about this for a second. I mean, I feel like one of the things that I want to do is make sure I'm secure from being killed myself, right? I mean, whoever did this is capable of killing all these people in the same night, and what's stopping them from being capable of killing all of us right now? Unless the person who killed them all is one of us. I don't necessarily. It could be one of us, but yeah, Bleach is a whole thing. So more blood. Yeah, great. Instead of showing me the blood, just show me the freaking bodies, man. Hidoshi looked down upon Shannon's body lying at his feet. Just like the other bodies, he was in such a horrible state that it would make anyone want to cover their eyes. Not me though. Show me the bodies, bro. Come on, man. You can do that. You can show me the bodies. God damn it. Man, if all the deaths in this visual novel happen like this, where you don't get to see the bodies, I'm not gonna be disappointed, but I'm just like, well, okay. You know, especially the brutality of Higurashi. I was like, man, like I wanna see like the bodies. Not all Rosa, okay, Rosa, and I remember her as the queen she was. She did not deserve to go, man. But okay. Half of the face had been smashed off, and no more than half of her expression remained. Yeah, okay, yeah, definitely don't want to see her like that, George. If that remaining half, soaked with red with blood, had been wiped clean, that graceful smiling face might have peeked out. Only half of it. Man, so both Cross and Shannon die like Marco did in Attack on Titan then. Ugh. Without thinking, Hidoshi slapped his hand over his eyes. How cruel. If only all of it had been crushed, if they were going to crush it, then he might have been able to deceive George's heart for a while by saying it was just someone else wearing Shannon's clothes. No, he couldn't have. No, he couldn't have. Shannon, you would have just noticed Shannon's. Why would someone else wear Shannon's clothes? Get out. Come on now. No, he couldn't have. Yet they had left half of the face. Can we see it though? I guess we can't. It caused the body so much humiliation, and also made it clear that this body was none other than Shannon. How inhuman, how monstrous. Well, inhuman clearly if it was the work of Beatrice. She's a freaking witch. Yeah, that clearly is inhuman. Hey, sup, Canon? There at Hideyoshi's feet, trying his best to burn the image of the remaining half of Shannon's expression into his eyes, was Canon. Canon's like, Shannon, I remember your half face. uh, hmm. Canon was not crying. That's tough, actually. That's tough. He's known her for a while too, to be fair. Tears had risen to his eyes, but they did not drip down. Damn. But that didn't mean that he wasn't feeling as much sadness as everyone else. Losing Shannon, who had lived with him in the gospel house, whom he had loved as a sister, and he was calling her Neson and everything. He was calling her sister. Must have been just the same as losing a blood relative.
ジョージ、シャノンちゃんはきっとありがとう言うてるぞ。お前に恥ずかしいところを見られとうなかったんや。きっとお前が耐えてくれたこと感謝。
Oops.
分かってる。分かってるよ、父さん。分かってるよ。
So, at least I'm glad for one thing is that they're not scared of immediately dying or immediate danger. You know, they've seen their family members all dead right there. They're not scared of someone pulling up on them right now and killing them all off. Like, strength in numbers. I get it. Strength in numbers. George leaned against the outside wall of the storehouse, sinking down powerlessly.
父さん、頼みがあるんだ。
I have a request.
なんや。
What is it?
僕の代わりに見てほしいんだ。
Look for me?
シャノンは指に
Oh,
指輪をつけてるかな。
is there a ring? Did she put it on?
指輪
Kind of a. I mean, yeah. I mean, now is the time to do it. To be fair, I mean, yeah. I mean, soon the bodies are gonna be rid of, right? So I mean, make sure the ring is there.
ちょいと見てみる。
Let me see. Alright, this here's her mutilated, damaged body. Oh, there's the ring. Left hand, right? Or right hand? I don't know. Left hand. Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes! We get to see a glimpse of the body! Let's go. I'll take that. You know, is that... Who is that? Is that... I think... Who's standing right there? That's not George, is it? Is that canon? That could be canon, you know. Might be canon. I can't... What is this purple thing? Are those parts of his legs? Or their legs? Whoever this is? What the frick? I don't know. You know, I'm gonna ignore that. Okay, we get to see a glimpse of the blood and her body. Hidoshi crouched down. Okay, I'll take this. I'll take a glimpse of her body. I'll take that. As he did, Kennesley silently pointed to one of Shannon's hands. I guess it was the left hand. Okay, so this is Shannon, like I guess, because Shannon was there. But like, what is this purple stuff? Is that? I don't remember Ken. I don't really remember Cannon's clothes near his legs. I don't really know. Okay. Anyway,
ああ、あるで。
there's a ring.
こりゃ、ダイヤの指輪や。クズダイヤとちゃう。
Not a chip diamond. It's a real one.
なかなかの値打ちもんや。
それはどっちの手のどの指にあるのかな。
Left hand, right? Left hand, was it?
と、左手の薬指や。
Ring finger of her left hand. Let's go. She accepted your proposal, bro.
そっか、シャノンちゃん、
gonna-
婚約しとったんか。
She was engaged with George, bro. Your son, man. Aren't you proud of your son? You got her. I mean, he also got something else from her. But you know, we'll
George.
Emma doesn't care about Shannon's that. She's like, you proposed to a servant? You proposed to Shannon?
あなたまさか
My son, my dear son, you proposed to Shannon? Oh my god.
エヴァ、
Now's not the time. Eva, now's not the time. Even if you think it's not okay for him to propose to a servant, whatever it is you have against servants, you freak. Nah, I'm joking. But whatever it is, man, now's not the time, bro. Let him tear up over her death. Then you can complain about it, the whole servant stuff. Give it time. Now's not the time.
今はそんなん関係ないで。
Exactly. Hideyoshi, it doesn't matter what he was doing behind your backs. Now's not the time, y'all. Now's not the time. Heva, leave it. Leave it. I agree.
シャノンちゃんは男に将来を約束されとったんや。
Exactly. And she accepted it. Yeah. That's I don't care. I don't care if servant or not. She's a human being, and George made her realize that, and that was great. That was great. Yeah.
一生を幸せにしちゃると男に言わせたんや。
And of course, Hidoshi knows what this means because Hidoshi literally did that to her. Of course, she, it's different for her, for Eva, but Hidoshi knows what it felt like for George to propose to her because Hidoshi literally did that to Eva. But Eva doesn't really know what it's like, so she's here like that. I guess that would be her first reaction. But Hideyoshi knowing that is like, like now's not the time. Like, George, I feel you.
それが誰かは問題とちゃうで。
Doesn't matter if it was a servant. I agree. It does not matter. Now's not the time.
男にそこまで言わしめて、女の本懐やないか。
Especially like her. Like she was raised up to be a servant in the chapel because she was an orphan, and then like a very, very well-behaved guy, rich guy, early 20s, from a very respectful, successful family, proposed to her. I mean, and she was happy, but it was like it's a dream come true. That's great. George is a great man. I mean, it's fantastic. And I wanted that for her. I wanted the best for her. Man, things ended up like this. But okay, what about Rosa though? Yeah, we haven't talked enough about Rosa, man. I want more Rosa talk.
いつこの指輪をもらったんかは知らん。誰が渡したかも知らん。だが、それでも、シャノンちゃんは指輪をもらえたんや。
She accepted it. Bro, how long is this part? I feel like we've been recording for a while. This might be the longest part of Umineko.
そして、それを受け入れ、 左の薬指に通したんや。指を送った男もきっと喜んだんとちゃうか。
To most of the people there, Hideyoshi was simply disturbed by this extraordinary situation and was blurting out strange things. But to those who really knew the truth about George and Shannon's relationship, everything he said made sense. Yeah, to me and Jessica, right? Battler and Jessica knew about the truth. Well, they were clearly suspecting it. We were like gossiping about it yesterday. Like, haha, George and Shannon, haha, yeah, there's clearly something going on between them. So, but yeah, to Nanjo, to Eva, to the servants, Genji, Canon, they may not get it as much, but you know.
そっか。ありがとう、父さん。
George stood up. The traces of tears still streaked his face, but his expression had returned to its usual calm.
行こう。バトラー君、ジェシカちゃん。
That is so mature from George. Like, I know we've come to expect George to be mature, but for him to like go back to his calm self and tell Battler and Jessica to go because he knows like like now's the time to go. Like, that is super mature. I mean, like, I think regardless of age, to be able to do that is very impressive. That's George. That's impressive.
これ以上、僕たちがここにいると、大人の邪魔になる。
Right. And do not dare let Maria even close this storehouse. Let's leave Maria unawares of all these murders going on. Whatever murder is going, whoever murdered these people, whatever is going on, let's leave Maria out of this. She can be the messenger for Beatrice all she wants, as long as she just believes it's all just a witch fun stuff. You know, they disappeared because a witch took them. That's a fantastic explanation. There we go. Leave Maria out of this. All right, that would be great. She's 9 years old. Come on now, come on now. Although. No, you know, I no, I feel like she might get involved. I really hope she doesn't. But I say that I said the same thing about Rosa being alive and Rosa's clearly not alive. So eventually, Maria's probably gonna get involved in all this too, even though she's a little kid and doesn't deserve it. Oh well. I hope at least she doesn't die. You know, like leave Maria alone. Come on now, leave Maria alone. She's a little kid. Don't kill her. Don't kill her. You know you don't want to kill her. Preferably leave her out of this murder stuff. Don't have her be in the know. That would be terrify her. She's a kid. Come on now. That would horrify her. That would be awful. All right then. But it probably will reach her too. I mean, you can only hide stuff like this for so long. Especially if the murders keep happening, or I don't know if they're murders or Beatrice witching out. Whatever it is, I feel like it would be best to like. I feel like she's gonna be aware of it eventually, if they keep happening. But you know, obviously the best case scenario if she doesn't, if she's completely unaware of it. But that's, you know, knowing the nature of this sort of story, it's probably not gonna happen, right? Mari's gonna be involved even though she's a kid. Hey, new expression from Jessica, sideways.
そうだな。
Jessica sniffled once, and trying to say that she was alright, she showed her face to her mother, who had been holding her the whole time. Oh, when she faced George again, she once again had on her usual face. Damn, she too, she was able to mature that quickly. Jessica especially, like, I expected to recover from that faster than Jessica. I expected George to probably be the quickest, sure, but like, I expected myself to recover, like, because again, I didn't really care that much for. I mean, yeah, she didn't really care that much for her parents, but then like she had this little bonding situation with Natsuhi, so it seemed like she was getting back on better terms with her parents, right? But I especially, like, I didn't have the best relationship with Rudolph, and of course I liked. I liked and respected Kitty as my older sister, but like, I expected to recover it, like, I don't know. I expected to be recovered faster than Jessica, at least, from seeing all this. Although she still couldn't recover her smile. Of course she couldn't. Nobody could. Not even George can. Nobody can. Do I look like I'm smiling? I mean, you guys can see me, but I'm not smiling. Trust me. I have chuckled a bit after all of this has happened, but like, I haven't, like, I'm not actually happy that this is going on. I'm not like properly smiling, like, yay, they died. Like, come on, man.
バトラー
Battler, let's go.
しっかり
Battler kept on crouching in front of his parents' bodies. Battler, you're the MC.
すまねえな
You're the MC, Battler. Don't go down like this, bro.
がっつり泣いたら落ち着いたぜ親父の野郎普段はクソクソ言ってるくせにちょっと死んじまったくらいでピーピー泣くんじゃねえぜって笑ってやがれ仕方ねえだろ親が死んだら泣くように遺伝子すり込まれちまってんだからよ
This line hits, you know. This line hits, bro. That hit. I don't know what it is about that, but that line hit me, man. Oh, that line hit me. It's wired into our genes to cry when our parents die. But of course. I feel like the flamingo talking right now. But of course it is. It's like when the flamingo had his justice speak. Justice will always prevail. But of course it does. The winner of a said war is justice, because they become justice. It's this hit me just like that, where it's like, it's wired into our genes. Of course, our parents die. Of course, yeah, we may not have had the best relationship with them, right? You know, Jessica and her dad, Cross, and me and Rudolph. Of course, we didn't have the best relationship, but like, they're blood parents, you know. Jessica shares the blonde hair with Cross. I share this posture of my dad. It's wired into our genes to cry when our parents die. This line, man. I'm gonna remember this line. That's man. That hit. I don't know why it hit so hard. Because it's like, it's so true. It's like your parents died, man. Like, what the frick? It doesn't like matter necessarily what sort of relationship you had with them, unless they were completely off the walls, like abusing you. I don't know if you guys have seen Goodnight Pun Pun, but in Pun Pun, you know, he didn't cry over his mother's death. He didn't feel. Well, it's too late now, right? I mean, yeah, I don't edit these videos. Yeah, you know. Frick. Why do I speak so quickly, man? I can't even say anything. Frick, dude. Yeah, I've kind of put myself in a hole there. I should not have talked about Pun Pun at all. Very sorry. It's not that big of a thing. It happens. No, it doesn't happen. But like, yeah. But my point is that like, it depends on the situation, of course, and that, you know. He hated his dad. He called him, like, he insulted him and stuff. But like, whatever culture you're from, whoever you are, basically, almost. It depends, of course, on person to person. But like, it's wired into our genes to cry when our parents die. It's true. It's true. It's. I don't know why, but like, just thinking about this line, I don't know what it is, but that line really hit me, man. It's wired into our genes. Oh man, Battler. Just like Jessica said, though, be strong, Battler. Stay strong. You're the MC. I think you can bounce back from this. I mean, of course, you're gonna cry when your parents die, but man, though, it's wired into our genes. It really is. That's like. It's kind of like, I feel like this line, it's kind of like similar to how in every culture ever, at least from what I've heard of, ever, like any country ever, everyone calls their parents mom and dad. That's how it is. That's how it is in Japan too. That's how it is in the United States. That's how it is everywhere else in the world, right? Like, you call your parents for mom and dad. I mean, they have their own like names for them, and every person has their own mom and dad. No matter the person, no matter if the person, even the person who, I mean, unless it's Beatrice the witch and she just existed from nowhere somehow. I don't know. But if you, even if the person who killed these people, let's say they are a real person and they do have parents, even they have parents, right? And like even they, the parents are mom and dad for them. Like everyone has that sort of mom and dad person, right? And it's right into our genes to cry when our parents die. It's that's kind of like this subset of that, a subset of there's a natural, let's like almost biological, like human, unavoidable respective relationship between a parent and child that is so unlike almost everything else. It's so different than anything else. It's not just a friend. It's not just like your lover, although you have a different relationship with your lover, of course. That's a whole thing, right? George and Shannon, we just saw that. But parent and child, it's a thing. It's a thing, man. There's a connection there, and everyone should, in my opinion, have that connection. And not everyone does, of course. Some parents are horrible and don't raise their kids properly. But even then, at times, their kids have that some sort of like relationship with their parents. Some kids, like that's why being an orphan is so awful. But like even then, orphans sometimes they get they get adopted, and that's fantastic. Like that relationship stays, that sort of thing stays, and I don't know, man. Like this hits. And Kiria is like, yeah, of course he sees her as his big older sister, but like, yeah. I'm gonna keep moving, but this line got me. That was good. Battler's face was still bright red from the tears, but even though it was forced, he had at least recovered enough to fake a smile. Nice.
カノン、お前もこれ以上ここにいてはいけません。
Because he's also too young.
子供たちを連れてお屋敷に戻っていなさい。
Alright, this has been the longest. I don't know how long I've been recording, but this has been the longest Umineko part. I'm pretty sure by now. So once we return to the mansion, I'm gonna end it right there. I think that will be a good place to end it. Natsuya, unable to take a step into the storehouse, had been standing under the rain the whole time. Maybe she had her own way of grieving, different from battlers. Maybe. Battler was just screaming and crying, I guess. Jessica was also very much screaming. She lost her husband, who she's been with for over 20 years. She isn't currently crying, she's not screaming or anything, but like, this has definitely hit her. But again, everyone has their own way of grieving, of course. This is very true. She realized that she had to take on a sense of responsibility now that her husband was dead. That quickly? That is impressive that she noticed that quickly. I feel like your main focus right now should be, hey, your husband is dead. But like, the way she immediately bounces to, alright, now it's my turn to take responsibility so quickly after her husband died is that's something, you know. So she gave Cannon those orders. Hey, not that, good job though. Good bounce back. You and George, good bounce back. To immediately go like, all right, we have to deal with the immediate problems right now, which in my opinion include someone possibly murdering the children as they go back to the mansion. Just saying. I mean, again, they're not really scared of any immediate murders. I might be missing something here, but like, I don't know. Like, I feel like we should all like make sure we're in solid groups here, right? And if there is a murderer among us, do not make any Among Us memes, but if there is a murderer among us, if it is one of us, then like, I want it to be like, how do I put it? Like we need to be in groups to make sure we can overpower whoever the murderer is. Although, I imagine Beatrice has her hand in this somehow. She did something.
Hi.
Yes.
奥様。
Cannon rose silently and turned to face them. His face was pure white, almost as though his own heart had died along with Shannon. Oh, there was no life in his expression. Aww. Nah, Cannon, you gotta bounce back from this too, man. Just like everyone else. Man, I've been talking this entire part. I hope to go back to the thing soon. I gotta finish this and go to sleep. I did not expect this to be so long, because I did not expect this huge event to happen this part, obviously. So like, I've been talking for a while, and I'm ready to go to sleep. Not gonna lie, it's pretty late now. Again, I always find 2 hour windows to record Umineko in, and you know these last several videos have been eventually record for an hour, but this has been extremely long now. If during the course of a normal day he had been instructed to do a tour of the beautiful rose garden, Canon may have led the way for them. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Oh, they may, I don't. The visual novel maybe might be talking about something different, but it could have been like this could have been like a lot different. It could have been like Nazi after giving them tea after eating breakfast went like, "Ayo, Cannon, alright, give them a tour of of the place." And then they went out. They had a whole tour. They opened the shutters. Like, oh no! Oh wow! Okay. Now I don't think that would have happened though, because then Cannon would have had to grab the keys, because Genji went back to grab the keys, right? Or Cannon did. Cannon and Genji, well, one of them, I think, might have been both of them actually, went back to grab the keys and came back here with Evan, Hideyoshi, and everything, to then open the shutters. I think it was Genji who then took with him Nanjo and Natsu, and they grab the keys, right? They grab the keys. They come over here. So I don't think that situation could have happened necessarily. At least not the way we expected to. If Canon had just been doing a tour, because then he'd be like, "Oh my god, dark magic red circle. I'm gonna go back. You know, there's no key to open the shutter, so I'll go back, tell everyone, hey yo, like there's a magic red circle." Then open the thing, and then we would have all noticed that there's dead bodies here anyway. So yeah, it would have been. I don't think it would have changed all that much, but maybe, I don't know. But now there was no distinction between Canon and the children. Oh. They were now just kids of about the same age, with the wounds of having lost someone close to them. After seeing the children go back, Natsui gave orders to Genji.
ケンチ、すぐに警察に連絡しなさい。
And have them arrive. When? When? Hey, 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 hey. Remember how the phone lines, the telephone lines got damaged? I bet that was done on purpose just for this. Someone damaged the phone lines, killed these lot, and were like, yeah, even if they wanted to call the police, they have to fix the phone lines. So they'd have to like actually take a boat. Someone would have to take a boat, get out of the island, tell the police about this stuff, come back with the boat. This could take a whole day. In that time, plenty more people could die. Hey now, who's gonna fix the phone lines? Man, so y'all are rich as hell, but don't even have like an engineer of sorts that can that can fix situations like this. I'm being very harsh, of course. Like, why would they just be expecting murders to happen? I mean, I'm being very harsh here. I mean, I'd do that. If I was them, I'd imagine at some point I'd be like, in case of any technical damage or TV damage, like they have TVs and stuff, I'd bring in like an engineer of some sort, right? Or like hire one to just kind of be your servant, but also like or engineer for any failures like that. But then the problem arises is what if the engineers had died along with these law? Then it wouldn't have mattered at all. Then it's freaking, it literally does not matter. Then phone lines would have been damaged either way. And yeah, if in fact the engineer would have been the first target. See, this is why, thanks to Umineko, once I'm done with my, taking my engineering degree, hopefully it all goes well. If a rich person on an island ever tells me to work for them as like a servant thing, I say no. And they'll ask me why. You're the perfect candidate. And I'll go like, you can ask someone else to die with you and getting killed by a witch or whatever it is that's going on. You can have someone else be the messenger. I ain't doing that. I'm on an island? Nah, bro. Although to be fair, one thing I do have, that might make my answer change is this was 1986. Contact the police. I mean, we have smartphones now. I mean, world is different now. Point is, the world is very much different than 1986. It's 2022 as I'm recording this. This is 1986. World, internet was obviously not a thing. So you know, smartphones weren't a thing. You have telephones and stuff, but like it's not the same. It's not the same, right? Surely in the mansion they'd have Wi-Fi connection, right? They'd have Wi-Fi connection in the mansion. You know, I'd be able to send a message like, bro, someone died. Dude, I'd freaking like imagine I posted a YouTube video like, yo, in this mansion someone died, bro. That's nuts. Okay, contact the police.
台風が通り過ぎるまでは来られないでしょうか。どうすればいいか指示を与えてくれるはずです。
Yeah, and in the meantime, plenty more people are gonna die. You know the murderer is still loose. You know that, right, Nazi? Whether the murderer is one of you or whether it's Beatrice, doesn't really matter. The murderer is loose. Y'all gotta protect each other. I don't know how. Have everyone get one of those necklace like rings things that Maria had. And yeah. Also remember the bloody doorknob? And also the like magic circle on the shutter? Remember the bloody doorknob though? You know, someone's coming after you too, Nazi. Don't forget. I don't know how they didn't enter your door. You know, I guess your magic protected it, but I'm just saying. Y'all can't sleep alone now. Like, y'all can't sleep at all. If I was them, how would I sleep? Bro. So my parents died and some servants died. If I was them, I would be too scared to sleep, bro. I could be next. I mean, I would sleep in the same room as Natsu, to be honest. I mean, that's confirmed safe. That's confirmed bloody doorknob safe. I mean, like, I know I should probably not be sleeping with like a middle-aged woman. But like, you know, we don't have to share bed. Let me sleep on the floor. It's fine. I'm fine. If I'm not dying that night, I'm fine. All right. Like, you know, I don't want to be disrespectful, but like, bro, ma'am, your room is protected by this magic thing by Maria, so I'm chilling there for the night. If I have to sleep, I prefer not sleeping, of course, because I don't think Nazi's the murderer, but I mean, I guess I don't think Nazi's the murderer, so I just chill with Nazi for the night. Someone else can bloody the doorknob once again that night. Doesn't matter. I'm good. You know. Magic ring that Maria has in her like bag. Cool. We take those. Anyway.
わかりました。
Man, my voice is getting really tired. Holy crap.
防災用の無線機がありますので、それで連絡します。
Okay, good. Alright. At least they may not have thought as far ahead as engineer, who probably would have been the first target anyway, so no point. At least they thought of emergency radio. Good. I mean, at least they have that. Nice. Good. When she heard that, Natsu remembered. That's right. The telephones were out today, weren't they? Yeah. I mean, I don't blame her for forgetting that, to be fair, because you know, she just witnessed loads of her family die and servants. Of course, I am in a very, very different, you know, place of situation perspective. So of course, I'm different when, you know, when I remember something like, oh yeah, the telephones were out today. Of course, I'll remember stuff like that because I'm in a much cooler headspace than these guys are. These guys are still suffering from the deaths of their peers. But yeah. However, since it had been assumed that there could be trouble with the phones on this isolated island, a radio had been installed. Nice. Can we also get installed back to the mansion so I can end the part and my voice is dying? Yeah, I was planning to maybe record 2, but I basically recorded like over 2 videos in one because of how long this has been. I don't know how long I've been recording. I've been recording for a while, that's for sure. I feel like this is the longest recording I've done. Like, there was one video I think I recorded for 2 hours, but that did not feel as long as this one. Holy crap, like my voice is really getting drained. I might be just talking a lot, but holy crap. Anyway, let's contact the police and seek their instructions. Okay. Everything else can wait. Right, contact the police. Come on, stop with the nonsense. Let's go back to the mansion, please. Use your limited knowledge on dead bodies to help us out. I mean, we know you're not a body detective, but can you see if you could like check out some early DNA prints? That would help a lot because the police are not arriving anytime soon. If you're that techie, if you're that good already, I mean, I doubt Nanjo can check DNA. If they could check the DNA prints, then that would be fantastic. This is 1986, yeah. I mean, DNA was found out in in the 1950s, right? Early 1950s. I don't. But wait a minute, could they do DNA printing by 1986? What did they do for murder cases back then? Was DNA how? I don't know actually. When was DNA printing a thing in investigations? Because I know the Eastall woman. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Eastall woman, but like they didn't do DNA printing at the time. That was 1970 though. She died in 1970 in Norway. Mysteriously, but till to this day we don't know how she died. But they found just a burned body of an old woman that clearly was not Norwegian. She looked like she was German. People thought she was a spy, but she died, and there were apparently two men following her, according to the last person who saw her. But like, who knows how she died? But at the time of her death, they investigated, didn't find anything. 1970 she died, by the way. But it wasn't until like much later on that they actually like, discovered fingerprints of a suitcase. Um, was it a suitcase? No, I think the suitcase they found right away. They found some suitcase or whatever, and then they found out she had different like passports, different identities, and different like clothes, which is what led to the spy theory that she was a spy who was in Norway, which made sense because at the time it was the Cold War, 1970, the middle of the Cold War, so she could have just been a spy in Norway, which makes sense. But but they didn't do fingerprints on her until much later. So 1986, they may not be fingerprints actually. And even if they were, I doubt Nigel is capable of that. He's not a doctor for situations like these. He's a doctor supposed to be there to help out a good friend of his, Kinzo. So I don't expect him to do anything much. But we'll see. So yeah, cool. If you guys want to know more about the Easter woman, you can look up that whole story. You might have heard of her already though.
残念ながら私には何もできませんな。
You can't send us back to the mansion though. Ah, oh my god. Bro, I'm going to die tonight. Not die tonight. Whoa, I'm thinking too much. Umineko. I'm going to sleep tonight exhausted over talking so much. This is a whole exercise. Not really. Close enough. Talking non-stop for hours. That's rough, buddy.
源氏、せめて主人たちの顔を何かで覆ってやることはできませんか？
Yeah, do you have like those like big black bags? You know, like those like things that you put like on bodies. Are they like plastic? I don't know if they're made of plastic or whatever they're made of. Just like wrap them around with it. Like for now, you know, like, we're not asking you to throw the bodies away or just yet. You know, just keep. I feel like we just keep them in those for now. Like cover their faces, like their mutilated, damaged bodies.
このような姿を晒すことは当人にとっても屈辱的。
はい。
Yes. Genji picked up several towels hanging inside the storehouse when Eva stopped him in a shrill voice. Why did Eva stop him?
ちょっとちょっと
Ah, let us go back to the mansion. What is it?
お待ちなさいよ。
Why? Why?
ここは犯行現場なんでしょ？
Yeah?
なら変に手を加えちゃダメよ。
I see what you mean, but towels are not gonna disturb that, is it? Are they? We're just covering their faces. Fine. No plastic bags, but at least cover their faces. You know, I bet they won't want that.
私たちは混乱してて現場に土足で踏み入っちゃったけど、それはきっと警察の捜査の邪魔になったわよ。
Yeah, it's true actually. So wait a minute. Wait, footprints, yeah. But hopefully the footprints can tell the police can tell older footprints between older footprints and newer footprints is one thing. But yeah, you're right. The more we mess with the crime scene, I mean, I don't know if the fingerprints are a thing, because then like they could like track one of the bodies and be like, haha, it was Eva or whatever. It was I don't know, Genji who killed them, whatever, whoever it is that did it. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's you. It's just because you were here too after the crime happened and touched all over the place. So I kind of see where Eva's coming from, but a towel over their faces can't be that bad. Natsui glared at Eva testily. Come on, no arguing now. Come on now. But I see where Eva's coming from. I also see where she's coming from though. Objectively speaking, Eva was right. Yeah, exactly. I can see where she was coming from. From an from a sympathetical standpoint. I mean, I don't know what it's like to be dead, but from a sympathizing perspective, cover their faces, cover them up. From an objective, like rational perspective, you gotta keep them up. You gotta investigate this. For when the police comes, you gotta know who did this. We gotta get closer to the truth. Even so, she glared at Eva as though accusing her of refusing to do those. Her of refusing to do those tragic corpses, which had been humiliated even after death, the simple kindness of covering their faces. Yeah. However, Eva had spoken both calmly and correctly. Yeah, I mean, not to just a second ago, well, a while ago, was walking out Kinzo's study with confidence. She was all good. She was like, alright, destroyed Eva. But in this case, Eva, yeah, she's put her foot down. Yeah, she's confident about this too, and I see why. This horrible state was definitely not an accident. It was a crime. It's true. It's true. These guys didn't all just coincidentally just die. Like, nah, someone beat them up, damaged their faces, humiliated their bodies. Yeah, this is a work of someone. It could be a work of a witch, Beatrice. I don't really care, but it was done on purpose. It was not an accident. It was someone's doing it. Someone had killed them purposely for some reason. Whatever the epitaph is talking about, whatever sacrifices there are, whatever is going on, whatever gold stuff is going on, this is true. It was a murder case. In that case, they should be careful not to further disturb the sign. They had to aid the police as much as possible so that they might hand over a clue that could be used to find the detestable culprit.
私もエヴァさんに賛成ですな。
Yeah.
警察が来るまでここは手つかずにしておくべきです。
And we don't need to do any gardening right now because there's a typhoon going on. So we can just leave this place as it is. Then we can come back later tonight or tomorrow and find even more dead bodies. Because, yeah, why not? If the murder is still about, I feel like they need to kind of think about that, right? I mean, the murder is still about, whether it's one of us or not. I mean, they're out there somewhere. And they're capable of doing this. So what's stopping them from doing it again? Either today, later on today, or tonight. Whatever.
奥様、いかがなさいますか?
Unless you're telling me the murderer killed everyone here, then killed themselves as one of these people like lying down here. Like let's say the murderer was Kirie. She killed everyone and killed herself. Yeah, exactly. That wouldn't. Yeah, that doesn't hold up, does it? No matter how much I flip the chessboard, Kirie, I'm sorry, I don't see it. I don't see it from your perspective. There's clearly a goal happening. The ritual, whatever it is, there's something happening. Yeah, Natsu's noticed. Yeah, she's right. Yeah. Just close the shutters, lock it up, get back to the mansion, and let me end the part, please. Of course, y'all have multiple locks. Y'all are a rich family. You got that.
別の施錠?
Yeah. Yes, so that the bodies don't move. The bodies need to exactly, because the murderer is just gonna be like, oh, okay, well, frick, police are gonna investigate that. Frick this, I'm just gonna hide everything somewhere else. Lol. I imagine if you were the murderer here, you probably wouldn't want to push the bodies off the island. Maybe the murderer didn't have enough time for that. But the fact that a murder happened 6 hours ago, I don't know. Like the murderer couldn't have like walked through the forest somewhere and just thrown the bodies. Not necessarily somewhere in the forest, but like out like the island, like have the typhoon and the seas just like take the bodies away. But then eventually they'd land up somewhere, and yeah, and if fingerprint technology is a thing at this time, it might not be. There you go. You're the body man. Yeah. That's true, That's true. That's another thing. Yeah, that's something I didn't think about. Whoever killed these guys closed the shutter after them, after they left. Unless you tell me they got out of what? They got out of this tiny window. They can fit through there. Yeah, exactly. Nah. Unless there's like a vent or something, they just killed the bodies, left them here, closed the shutter, which means they had the key to this place. And if they have the key to this place, unless we change the lock, they can come back here again and just throw the body somewhere else. There you go. There goes your investigation, out the window. Hideyoshi, why would you say that, Hideyoshi?
ということはシャッターの鍵を使い
Yeah.
犯人が施錠したということです。
And then put the key back to where it was in the servant room. See, this immediately I feel like takes. I mean, I obviously don't think it's me. I don't think it's Battler. But if it was Battler, you think he immediately just gained knowledge of where the key is of the shutter, gained that much knowledge of the place already to be doing all this, the culprit to be doing all this, and then just go back. You think Battler just did that? Yeah, I think that removes Battler as a possibility. I think we can all basically remove Muddy as a possibility here for having killed these guys.
確かに通りや。
I also don't think it was George either. Just want to say that much. Don't think it was George.
じゃあここを開けた限り犯人の指紋が残ってるんとちゃうんか。
So fingerprints are a thing. It's 1986, but they still have fingerprints. Good, okay. Because I'm not sure when they were introduced. I know DNA has nothing to do with fingerprints, but well, no, this can't. No. You're no. I'm dumb. This can DNA from the fingerprints, right? Isn't that what they do? Because everyone has like unique fingerprints that's like decided by their DNA, and everyone's DNA is different, obviously, which is nuts, by the way. That there's billions of us that exist and billions of us that have ever existed, but we all have different DNA, and our bodies are all built different. That's awesome. But yeah, like they had that technology, even though it's 1986. Damn, that's impressive. Okay, because I was scared that maybe that knowledge didn't really become that super big until like the 90s. I'd imagine by the 90s that we have fingerprint technology. But now, after this part, I'm actually gonna look it up. Not right now, but after this part is over, I'm gonna look up when fingerprint investigations became a thing, and I might mention it next part.
警察に証拠として提出する価値はあるでしょうけど、カノン君が普通に持ってここを開けるのに使用しちゃったわ。多分カノン君の指紋も付着しちゃってるわよ。
Yeah, but it's fine because we know it's well, it can be canon to be fair. But if we assume it's not canon, we'll find whoever else's fingerprints it was. If canon is the only fingerprints on it, no, that's a quick, easy target. Culprit. If canon isn't the only fingerprints on it, we know who else to look for. If there's witch stuff going on, that's something no police can investigate, because police are not aware of witches. Yeah.
そしてその鍵はさっき源氏さんに手渡され、源氏さんも素手で受け取ってる。
True. I feel like if the culprit was either Canon or Genji, that really helps them for fingerprints, because now they're like, yeah, I just touched this when Natsu gave it to me, but when Natsu also has her fingerprints on it, so like, yeah, that just kinda,
大した証拠にはなりそうにないわね。
might not be, but again, if you find someone other than Genji, Natsu, or Canon, if you find someone else's fingerprints on it, then you know. If not, yeah, I see Eva's point. Eva's smart, actually. She's smart. As much as she's been doing snarky remarks at Natsu the entire visual novel and stuff like that, she's smart. She's really quick to be to think rationally, actually. Although it would help a lot. It would make a lot of sense if she was the culprit. I don't think she is necessarily, but it would help her a lot to be calm in the situation and act as if the entire thing was just like an act. But even if the entire thing is an act, I find it interesting that she didn't know about Shannon's relationship with George, because it does not seem to me like she knew. So that's one thing to keep in mind of.
それは不用心でした。
Careless of me.
申し訳ございません。
源氏さん、この倉庫の鍵は他にもあるんか？
いいえ、
No, that's big. That's another big thing. Good question, Hideyoshi. That is big. That means this is the only key that opens this place up.
この一つだけです。
Yeah, that's big, that's big, that's big. That's important.
ということは、犯人はその鍵を使用人室から持ち出し、
Yep, yep, yep,
そして律儀に元の場所に戻したちゅうことになるな。
yep, yep. Someone went to the servant room. Which, by the way, in the servant room, Goda was playing... Last we saw Goda, he was playing... Not chess, but like a lyric game, right? Like a crossword game. And we saw Shannon walking in on him. And then she left. And then she saw the whole flickering light thing. The murderer must have killed Goda and Shannon around that time, right? Killed Goda. Murderer must have killed Goda. Grabbed the key from the servant room. Stored Goda's body. Went back, killed Shannon. Stored her body. I don't know. Nah, because if the murderer walks that much... There's blood everywhere here. If the murderer walks around that much, the culprit, they might get noticed. Unless it is Beatrice, and she's a witch, and she can turn invisible or something. That would be something. Oh, here we go. Hidoshi's theory sounded plausible, but it was actually very strange if you thought about it. Yeah, but it's the only one that makes sense. Someone went to the servant room, grabbed the key, walked out with the key, put the bodies in there at some point, definitely had to unlock the place, put the bodies in there, had the time to do all that, closed the shutter, closed it, taken the key all the way back to the servant room, again, without anyone noticing them or talking to them, well, possibly someone noticed them and talked to them, but put the key back, nobody really suspected it, nobody really thought much about it. Culprit could be multiple people, could be, you know, like I said, Hideyoshi and Eva working together. I don't think that necessarily. Could be other two people working together. I don't think it's any of the... If we're talking working together, I don't think it's any of the cousins. Definitely not. If we're talking working together, it would have to be either... I don't think it's canon. I don't think it's necessarily Genji. But if it had to be a work of two people working together, the only one I can think of is Hideyoshi and Eva. So, based on that, and I personally, just based on my random thing, there's no evidence to back this up, obviously. I personally don't think it's Hideyoshi and Eva. I think the witch story, there's some truth to that. There's a whole sacrifice thing. There's some truth to that. Kinzo, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. But yeah, that's what leads me to believe that a suspect is probably a single person acting alone. That's not necessarily true, but Beatrice is a thing. Again, Beatrice, to me, just like makes everything I say nullified. Because if this was a like... If I didn't believe in Beatrice, or if the Beatrice stuff was never introduced, if she was never a thing, the whole gold stuff was never a thing, then I'd actually think rationally. Then I'd think like, oh, this is a proper murder mystery. Beatrice being a factor in here, even though it's very dumb to believe in Beatrice, I still decide that I do, because she is a thing and she has been introduced, and they made a big point of her whole portrait, and Kinzo believes in her, and Maria's the letter, all of that. They spent so much time on that I'm willing to like give Beatrice a chance here. That's my basic reasoning for that. But okay, let's keep it moving. Why would they go through all the trouble of returning a key they stole? To seem less suspicious? Right? Because if this... But also, nah, you're right. Because I was gonna say to seem less suspicious, because if someone would have noticed that the key was gonna be like, let's go to the shutter, let's go to the storehouse. But to be fair, why? Yeah, no. Flip the chessboard. One thing Kirie does, but also multiple problems with that thought is, first things first. It doesn't seem like they use the storehouse all the time, right? It's just for gardening tools and stuff. And even if it wasn't raining, yeah, like they probably don't go to it every day, right? Maybe the servants go to it to check out it once every day. But the vibe I got from them, it does not seem like they go here every day. But to add to that, there's a typhoon going on, and the typhoon's been going on since before their deaths until now. So that's one thing, all up until now. So there's no reason for anyone to enter the shed, right? So there's no reason for anyone to go over here. They noticed the bloody circle before going back to get the key. Before going back, and if they had gone back to get the key and noticed it was stolen, then it wouldn't have mattered anyway that you stole it. Because then, by that point, yeah. So, if we flip the chessboard, it seems to me like whoever the culprit is wanted these guys to find out. Now that changes things. If the culprit had never left the key there, these guys would never have opened the shutter up. The kids would never have been traumatized. The magic circle as well, like the bloody circle. That's clearly them. Whoever did this wanted the attention. They wanted the attention. Flip the chessboard, guys. Flip the freaking chessboard. Kirie, even though you're dead, I'll remember you. I'll remember your words. They wanted attention for doing this. They had to. Why go through the trouble of returning a key? They wanted the attention. They left the key exactly where it was so that everyone could have an easy time opening the shutters and noticing all the dead bodies. Whoever did this wanted people to know, hey yo, these people are dead. To me, that's an act that is so similar to the letter. Because Beatrice is in the island, she gives Mari the letter, she goes out of her way to introduce to everybody, hey yo guys, I'm Beatrice in the island, I've come for you guys. If you find the gold, I'll forgive you all, leave you be. If you don't find the gold, well, that was the whole letter, right? That's why to me, that's even more leading to the conclusion that Beatrice had a hand in this. Or at least something to do with Mari's letter. Makes it more believable. Makes Kinzo's opinions also more believable. His witchcraft opinions. But okay, let's see what their theories are. No, if you think about it even more deeply, there are some even more bizarre points. Usually, when a criminal hides a body, they are trying to delay the point at which it will be found and use that time to escape. That's what I'm saying. I literally was talking about this. A criminal, a proper criminal, a normal criminal, a classic criminal. This is not a classic crime. Wouldn't want the bodies to be found, but this criminal clearly wanted the bodies to be found. That's the only conclusion I can arrive to. The actual place where the 6 were killed wasn't necessarily here, but they had been killed somewhere on this island, and it would be normal to think that the reason they had been carried to the storehouse was to hide the bodies and delay the discovery of the crime. See, that would be reasonable. That would be reasonable, up until it's not. It would be normal to think. You think, but it's not. So, whoever did this could have just thrown the body at the entrance of the mansion. Like, here you go. Look at them. There's the bodies. There you go. Didn't have to go to the storehouse. Seems to me like the criminal might have hidden the bodies at the place where they knew everyone would find the bodies. And seems to me like the criminal how do I put this again? Seems to me like the criminal I want to say something really good here, but I don't remember it. Seems to be the criminal, yeah, they did a murder and wanted to act like they did a proper murder. Like, they wanted to act like, yeah, guys, I murdered people and I'm trying to hide it. But actually, I want you guys to look at it. But like, no, I clearly was trying to hide the bodies. I clearly didn't want you guys to find these bodies. But again, would they, we flipped the chessboard and found all this out with the help of these law. Would the criminal know that? Would the criminal know that this is too obvious? And, actually be trying to, hide themselves? Who knows? Let's see what they say. But that graffiti drawn on the shutter that looked like an eerie magic circle had eloquently indicated that the corpses were hidden there. It didn't specifically say that they were here, but after 6 people had gone missing, by making such an obvious scribble and even returning the key to open it, it seemed almost as though someone had wanted the corpses to be discovered here, which is exactly what I said. Another thing is, I'm not forgetting the bloody doorknob. That's another thing I wanted to mention. Bloody doorknob.
とにかく 一度は犯人が開け閉めをした施錠だけでは信用できません。
Right.
犯人の手からもこの場所を保護する意味で施錠を新たにしたいと言っているのです。
いい案だと思います。
I think it's as good as a plan as everything else, but if the killer is a teacher and she's a witch and she can just do all that, she can just give a random umbrella to what's her name, to Maria, then at that point changing up the lock is not gonna mean much. But okay, fine.
私も賛成です。
Another thing is, y'all are probably planning to give the key to someone so that they can just hold possession of it. Someone you trust is not the killer. Whatever it is you plan to do, don't do that, because what if the person dies? The killer just targets the person, gets the key. And these guys don't know anything about the whole necklace. Is it a necklace? Whatever thing protecting Natsui, so they won't know that Natsui's safe as long as she has that thing around her doorknob for the night. Genji fished around inside the storehouse and unsealed a brand new padlock which had been inside a small box. Hmm.
鍵はどうなさいますか？
What would you have me do with the key?
私が持ちましょう。
She will take. Okay.
責任を持って警察に手渡します。
Yeah. Again. That makes you a target. And they don't know she's safe. I know she's safe because of her magic trick of putting a necklace on her doorknob. But they don't know that she's safe for the night. So I'm finding that interesting. And I also don't really know that she's not the culprit. Of course, y'all can go like, oh, but she's trustworthy. She's great. I mean, again, from their POV, one of them is the killer. There's 18, 19 people on the island. Several of them died. One of them is the killer from their POV. From their POV, witches don't exist. One of them is the killer. Could very well just as much be Nazi as everyone else. Nazi took the key to the padlock from Genji's hand. I guess they trust Nazi not to be the killer. Fair enough. I don't think she is either. But after that, they all exited and lowered the shutter. Because of that, the corpses were once again sealed behind that shutter, covered with that gruesome magic circle. Genji crouched down in front of the shutter to fasten the new padlock. The magic circle is not here, by the way. I mean, we assume it's somewhere in the shutter, but they're not, going through the effort of actually showing us right here. But we know it's there. Alright. In addition to the main lock on the shutter, there is sometimes a place where you can attach your own lock in front of it. This was one of those types. Oh. In the midst of the roar of thunder and the pouring rain, the storehouse stood there ominously. On its closed shutter was the magic circle, drawn in a creepy blood-like substance and swallowing up the bodies of 6 whole people. Alright then. They say blood-like substance. Do we have any doubts of it just straight up being blood? Like, why are they going like blood-like substance at this point? I feel like that's just confirmed blood. Why won't they test it? I mean, I'm not there, but I would test if it's actually blood. If it tastes and smells like... Okay, taste is a bit much. Taste is a bit much. But, like, smell like blood. Like, they can test out if it's blood or not. Surely. Surely, even though they're not police, they're not investigators. Surely they can do that much. Same thing with the bloody doorknob. Although that might have been cleaned up already by Genji. But the bloody doorknob on Natsu's room, I would do the same on that one. Check the blood. But again, at the same time I get the argument of not checking it because you want to let the police investigate, so you don't want to get your fingerprints on it. I get that. To Natsui, putting the new lock on may not have been entirely to preserve the scene for the police, but rather she might have felt like she wanted to shut that mouth for all eternity, to prevent any more victims from being swallowed by that eerie demon.
So,
Let's end the part, please. Let's end the part.
ご足労をありがとうございました。
Yeah, I need to let my voice live.
現時は急いで警察に連絡を。
Yeah, alright, please, let me end the part.
戻りましたらすぐに連絡し
Let's return, please. Or chapter break, chapter cut, please. The adults left the storehouse. Magic circle. Alright, the ghastly magic circle drawn on the shutter, still swallowing the 6 bodies, loomed eerily, occasionally lit up by the lightning. Glass break? Oh, we're done. What time is it now? 9 a.m.? What is it doing? Oh, I think it's a bit before 9 a.m. It's like a quarter. Oh, it's 8:45. Yeah, you can tell right there. And we're ending the part there. We're ending the part there. Whew. Finally get to end the part. Alright, let's read this last sentence and then we'll end the part. That has to be the longest Umineko part. All that could be heard was the sound of the rain, the voices from the kids' television program that Maria was watching, and the engrossed Maria's cackling voice. I'm glad Maria's cackling. May Maria, you have fun. I think we shouldn't even go inside there. Because, like, if we go with our traumatized selves, Maria will notice right away that something's wrong, right? And we can't really fake laugh. I mean, we can try to fake laugh and fake we're good. Hey, no problem, Maria, but... some of the rain was from the kids... okay, yeah. And the engrossed Maria's cackling voice. Okay. Alright, guys. My... my voice is dying. It's actually properly dying. I have been talking for I don't know how many hours. I genuinely don't know. I mean, my phone's over here, so I can check how many hours I've been recording this. But I've been at this for a while now, and I'm naturally thinking of ending this, but we can check the phone. Ah, oh my god, yeah, I've been recording for about 3 hours, I think. Either 3 hours or close to 3 hours. So this is this is by far the longest Umineko part. And I was talking throughout. I was talking the whole way through. If you've seen this entire thing, by the way, thank you so much for the support. But it's time to end it. It's pretty late. I need to I need to get to sleep. It's pretty freaking late. It's late at night now. I was planning this to be another 1 hour part, but it ended up being, I don't know, close to 3 hours. I don't know when I began recording, but it's been a while. It's been at least, I know it's been at least 2.5 hours, I'd reckon. This is the longest Umineko part so far. I'm not sure if this is going to be the longest Umineko part of all time. But it had to be that long because of the events that happened this part. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please, if you've watched this far, help out a tired voice hit man guy. Help me in my voice, please. I would be very happy with a like of a video. If you have any comments on this video, I think this was the most exciting Umineko part so far. So like the video if you liked it. Comment down if you have any thoughts. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm gonna title this part. But man, I need to sleep. The first thing I'm gonna do is when I'm standing up from the seat is wait, I have some sheets like I washed today that I have to put back. I'm not gonna take care of them right now. It's gonna be like that's a whole 20-minute ordeal. I'm gonna put them in the closet for right now and then do them tomorrow morning. And it's just gonna take. I'm literally just gonna freaking brush my teeth and head straight to bed. Damn. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, I always leave 2 hour windows between my Mineko parts. In case a longer part actually happens. I try to record 1 hour parts, but in case a 90-minute part happens, I try to leave 2 hour windows. For this one, I did. I'm gonna have to take a bit of my sleep. Thankfully, it's a Friday. I'm recording this on a Friday, so thankfully, I don't have any university lectures tomorrow morning, or else I'd have to really sacrifice my sleep. Then I'll only get 5 hours of sleep or whatever, which is good. I get to I get to relieve my sleep, but I have a lot of work to do tomorrow and the day after 'cause someone's arriving uh, at my house tomorrow, so I have to take care of that. And while I do get to sleep longer, I still have a lot of work to do. And yeah, I'm not gonna get a head start. Is basically I'm gonna wake up late. But hey, you know what? That's how it is sometimes. Umineko, this part was wild. Hope you guys enjoyed this part of Umineko when they cry, guys. There's still rain going on in the background. I will meet you guys in the next part. Whenever that happens. I hope you guys enjoyed this. My voice is dying, which makes me. You know what? You guys, this has been such a long part. You guys can handle like a few days without Mineko, right? Fingers crossed. I really want to record more Mineko. Not now, not now. I actually need to sleep now. Like guys, I actually need to sleep. But I want to record Umineko soon. I don't know if I can record tomorrow though, because like I said, tomorrow someone's visiting me. But like, I really want to record Umineko now, bro. I cannot leave. We just finished a chapter. I don't know how many chapters are in episode 1, and I'm not gonna Google it. I don't want to know. I am going to get spoiled, guaranteed, if I Google anything regarding Umineko, and I refuse to do that. If you guys want to tell me in the comments, let me know. Uh, don't spoil anything though. Just tell me how many chapters there are. If the amount of chapters is a spoiler, then I guess don't tell me that either. But yeah, I hope I'm at least like halfway through episode 1. I have to be halfway through episode 1, right? I have to be. Nah, man. This has to be. This would be such an extremely long series if I'm not even halfway through episode 1 by now. Nah. I have to. Especially after like this part. Yeah, this is like to me leading towards like the ending of episode 1. Hopefully, please, I pray, please. We have 6 episodes to go in total. Who knows if all the episodes are just as long as each other? Episode 1 might be the shortest, and that will be insane. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys there because I'm tired. My voice is tired. As you can probably tell. I don't know when I start recording, but I'll find out as I render this. Oh, the rendering of this video is gonna take a while. If this is like, I don't know how long this is, but if this is like a 3-hour video, bro, the rendering of this video is gonna be like, oh man, that's gonna take a while before this video renders in on YouTube and like uploads itself. Yeah. Ooh. Oh man, I'm gonna have to let like my laptop run for a while to let it render. Okay, I'll think about that tomorrow. I'll do all that tomorrow. I cannot be bothered. I need to sleep. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this part of Minako when they cried. When they cried, see, like even my speech is dying along with me. Yeah. Talking non-stop for 3 hours is draining, very much. It's like I'm getting more sleepy over time, more tired, more sleepy over time. So yeah, I'll think about a title for this part. Not right now. Again, like I said, I really need to go to sleep. I think my main focus right now, go to sleep. Leave all the responsibilities that I have for Amin tomorrow, who's gonna hate me today for. Well, maybe he won't hate me. Amin, will you hate me tomorrow? I don't know. Please. Hey, I'm leaving responsibility to Amin tomorrow morning. I'm done. Frick that. The bed sheets. Frick that. The uploading this part on YouTube. Yeah, frick that. I'm leaving that to a future Amin. The current Amin is dead tired. Needs to sleep. Got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. Got a long day ahead of me. So yeah. Okay. Maria's still watching the television program. That's good. She still isn't traumatized. That's great. I hope you guys enjoyed this part of Minako when they cried, ladies and gentlemen. I'll meet you guys next time for more murders. Maybe not. More discussion about how these murders happened. Seems like this visual novel is finally hit off the fan. That's good. That's good. That's something we can all agree with. Like, this visual novel has finally hit like the fan for real now. Like, now we're getting to the real bits. Everything before now, character introductions, Woohoo. Now things are getting real. People are dying. It's happening. But okay, guys, I'll meet you guys next time. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed reading this. My voice is dying. My speech is dying. But you guys should get the point. I say this after ending every part. Hopefully the frame rate wasn't too bad. It should be fine. It should be fine. Maybe not. Maybe not. It's a 3-hour video. Maybe not. I'll meet you guys next time. I'm gonna head off to sleep. You guys should head off to sleep too if it's late at night when you're watching this. Maybe not. And yeah, meet you guys next time. You guys will meet a more energized Emin, I'll tell you that much. I'll be more energized. My voice won't be as dead. And yeah. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this. I need to take good rest, so alright. Maria's cackling voice, yeah, it's type Amin's dying voice. Okay. Alright, y'all. Whew, I don't really know how to end this because this has been. I think Wow, I started this talking about the Queen. Okay, I'm talking too much. I started talking about the Queen of Norway and stuff. That felt like so long ago. But okay, I don't know how to end this. This was a wild part. I guess I'm just gonna say peace and leave you guys there. Okay, alright guys. Hope you enjoyed this, of course. And yeah, hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed reading it. Alright, I've said my piece, and I'll tell you guys right now. I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. Have a good time. Have a good life. Have a good day. Have a good week. Have a good month. Have a good year. Hope you enjoyed. Alright, y'all. Peace.